the truth begins to rise. A new creation I see through higher eyes. Every breath is a doorway within. Every step breaks the shadow of sin. I remember the power of my name. Infinite Spirit, I am not the same. Elementality, love is moving through my soul. Elementality, making broken places whole. Elementality, truth is rising like the sun. Elementality, we are many yet we're one. In the stillness, the universe is near. Every heartbeat, a message I can hear. I surrender, the limits fade away. Only freedom, eternal life today. Every breath is a doorway within. Every step breaks the shadow of sin. I remember the power of my name. Infinite Spirit, I am not the same. Elementality, love is moving through my soul.
Oh my goodness. What a great song. Yeah, it's so amazing that you're here. Oh, wow. We've been waiting for this moment here, Emergence, and we're so grateful that you've decided to join us. If you could type in to the chat that you're here, that you're ready, say, I'm ready. That would be wonderful for you. Would be wonderful for us. It'd be wonderful for us to see that in you as well, because this is going to be an incredible, beautiful event for you. But here again, the reminder is you've got to participate, which means we're going to go over some house cleaning stuff that's tied to this beautiful event that we're sharing with you, which will help you to make some big changes in your life only if you use it. So, what's the house cleaning stuff that we're going to be talking about? Well, make sure that you have this space ready for you. You have your notes ready to go. Make sure you have your, books next to you. If you're going to have any of the books that we have them with you too as well, because we might be referencing to some of that stuff as well. And then also make sure that you're here with intention to grow. And if you will set that aside and make that really important for you, it's going to be really great for you through this experience. So with that, I'm going to introduce also my partner here at Ella Vitality, which is Dolly. If you could say hello. Hi, Dolly.
Hello. I'm really
Wow.
looking forward to this event and
Yeah.
seeing where we all travel to today.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Isn't it interesting, this journey that we've both gone on, learning about ourselves, learning about everything that we had to learn from our coach and mentor, the main one, which was Bob Proctor, and how things didn't change until we started to use it.
Yes. Yes. And also too, the remembrance I remember too, which doesn't seem that long ago, all the different times that I attended his webinar or his seminars, and the downloads that I received by attending them and being there live. but
Mhm.
absolutely applying it and not just collecting the information.
Yeah. And that's the big thing. And this is a big message that we're going to be sharing with you, which is very important, and that is to eliminate the, I guess you say, habit of collecting information, gathering information, but instead using the information. See, that is what's going to make the biggest change in your life. And if you'll do that, then you're going to see some amazing, beautiful changes happen very quickly. So that's our invitation for you. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so awesome. So, Dolly, is there anything else that you'd like to invite our wonderful, beautiful attendees here to step into as well?
Yes. So what I feel that I'd like to transfer to everyone here is that, for every time I did attend a webinar or a seminar from one of our mentors, there was this feeling that I had inside about what it was that I was receiving, if you will. And I say it this way because you see, there's going to be a lot of information here that you might receive and say, I've heard this all before. However, I want to remind everyone that your intentions are really, really important here. We're going to travel to a different frequency together, which is why I say I'm looking forward to where we're traveling today with all of you. Because just like you, Troy and I have been called to be, and things are not as they seem, they truly are as you are.
Mhm.
So I want to invite everyone to drop into their hearts as we go on this journey together into the unknown. And even though, once again, the information may sound familiar, believe and know, because whatever you believe, you will prove that there is answers here that you will receive, remembrance of who you are, so that you'll be given the downloads on what to do next, on what you're asking for. Because what you're asking, you truly are receiving, just like Troy and I. And we're here to share our story about how we've been able to feel the feelings that we've been feeling that sometimes are quite indescribable. And some will say they're fantasy like, and they are. But once again, you'll understand that from your level of awareness. So I'm really looking forward to the fun that we're going to have today.
Yeah. And that's also another reminder too, as well, is also to remember to invite other people to come into this. There's many of you here right now who have been engaged with what we've been sharing with you, and it's been helping your life. So keep in mind that it can help their life as well. And when we're talking about life, we're talking about the shifts and that you can make inside to change the outcomes. In other words, how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, all of those things. So make sure you absolutely share that, because the world can use this information in a big, beautiful way. Now, you said something really interesting, Dolly, and I love it because it ties into what we're going to be helping you to understand that needs to be changed in order to change the outcomes. And it's tied into what's in the heart. And you said, to go into your heart, dive into the heart, and and so I want to pull up this image here so you can see this, because this right here is something that you must deal with if you want a change to happen in your life. Have you ever heard that phrase, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, as a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she? Well, the heart, which is the subconscious part of your mind, is what must change. And I want you to notice how there's beliefs and there's habits that are there. And all of those beliefs and habits are literally what runs everything for you. So, anyways, you're going to be seeing a lot of this. As a matter of fact, we recommend that you take a screenshot of this, because this is what you're battling against when you're making a change. And by the way, there's another real important thing that you need to think about too, as well, is that this is not you. Dolly, first saw this, and when you first stepped into this, isn't it interesting how, you thought your beliefs and your habits were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really not you. It's something else. So that right there, when you learn how to change this, everything changes. So again, Dolly, I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's a really important thing to grab onto. Really, really awesome. So we have a meditation that we're going to be stepping into as well too. We prepared a meditation for you to step into. It's going to be beautiful to help you to set the tone. In terms of the timing of that, we'll start to feel that out. But in the meanwhile, again, we want you to make sure that you're stepping into this. So if you could, before we start with this, if you could write down in your notes what your intention is here being in this call right now. What is it that you hope to get? Now that's important because the question that you write is going to have a huge impact because it's going to guide you and it's going to steer you with what you're going to hear from this. Many people will hear different things from what it is that we're sharing. And the reason for that is because their intention, their vibration is different. With that being said, when you are intentional about what it is you're seeking, it makes things a lot easier. Wouldn't you agree, Dolly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And also too, the theme of this is a remembrance of who you are, meaning things in your life, challenges that you face will still be there. However, our intention is for you to leave being upgraded, having a more of an awareness, a remembrance of who you are, so that you can, this quantum leap that I that I really was attracted to, because I felt like my life was in a hurry of all the things that I felt that I needed, whether it was finances and just how I was thinking at the time. I think, and what I want to share here is the quantum leap that I'm speaking of. That's the intention that Troy and I have for both of us to transfer to each and every one of you that are here today. And
Yeah.
that is because we have also experienced it ourselves. So we want to share our story.
Yeah.
Yes. Dropping into your heart is really important because a lot of what we say intellectually will not make sense.
Yeah. So there's one more announcement we need to make too, as well, Dolly. And it's tied into that telling our story. And that is the story about you being here and to recognize that if you were invited here by somebody, because there are some of our coaches that are here, they've invited you to come into this. One of the things that we're going to say to you is that it's very important that you listen to them. These coaches that we have here at Ella Vitality that are part of our system, they are there because of the vibratory state that they're in. They know what they're talking about. Their heart's in the right place. So as we go through this, you'll be able to have some beautiful discussions with them after this about the stuff that we've talked about. And then from there, again, the big thing that we encourage you to do is to be even more courageous and to listen to what they are sharing with you and to follow what they share with you to do. See, that's this thing that both Dolly and I had to both do when we were being led by, for instance, Bob, and we had to have the courage to act on things that didn't quite make sense. With that being said, they were the right things, which is why we're able to do what we're doing right now, which is, help a lot of other people to make changes in their life. So, yeah, so big, beautiful congratulations to you for being here and listening to that invitation.
Mm.
All right. So, Dolly, why don't we start off with a little bit with you sharing your story about what led you to this? Because you're talking about story and tapping into the heart. Um, I think that would be beautiful. What do you think?
Sure, I could do that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Uh, wow. There's, every time I'm asked this question, there's different pictures now that flash for me to see, and the story is shared differently each time. And what makes this whole thing so unique is also these stories that we share with each of you. This is also to help collapse time for you. One of the attractions that I had to many of the mentors that I've come not just to meet in the physical, but also in other dimensions, is God, there's so much I want to say. There was an energy transference. There was each time I did things that I was so afraid to do. And I didn't understand it then because each time I was in their presence, this is our intuition, if you will. You know, when we're feeling into other people's energy, and I'm going to do the best I can to describe to you feelings that I have inside. This is why also when Troy and I share, you got to get out of your head and drop into your heart. The words that I share with you all today, and Troy shares with you too, when we also share about how it's an understanding that you will have from your level of awareness. We want to collapse time for you the way that mentors have done for us. I was called and listened to that calling based on what I wanted to experience, this desire that I had back in 2017. And this is why, too, it's so important for each of us to show up, to do it even when we're scared. Wow, there's a lot that comes up, Troy. It's so different than before because there's so much more that I've been able to experience. I think that, and that because this is the first time I'm translating it in this way, the transmission is a little bit different. It's a little uncomfortable too, interestingly.
You know, it's so interesting as you're talking about this transference and the changes that you actually had to make on the inside. I relate a lot to what it is that you're talking about because there was a lot of courage that had to be taken place, that had to take place inside of me to make those changes too. And again, the most important thing that's tied to this is something that you just actually shared about speeding up the process.
Mm.
Because that's something that I had to do for myself. For instance, mine was I wanted to speed up the process, and I made a decision to learn from who I believed was the best, in which I still think that right now, and that was Bob Proctor. And again, really think about what's being shared here, because that's what we're wanting to help you with is to collapse time. Now, one of the things that we do say, and again, this is really great that you brought this up, Dolly, is many people have fallen into the trap of trying to change it themselves and doing self-help, which is good. A lot of working on their own, which is good too as well. But what's interesting is that's the slowest way to deliver a change. The fastest way is with guidance. It's with a mentor. And it's so beautiful, Dolly, that you shared that and that you wanted to collapse time in your life. And then now you want to help other people to collapse time in their lives. And the way that we're sharing that with you is through what we have learned ourselves. I mean, there's lots of wonderful information that's out there. But again, the key component, though, is following the instructions of someone who has gone there before you who understands how it works. And again, our emphasis here is the slowest way to do that is on your own. Yes, you got to do the work yourself, but when you have someone to guide you and help you, bam, things speed up and they speed up really, really fast. Just think about, for instance, any great athlete, great actor, great business person, those who have a mentor, those who have a coach, they excel very fast. Those who try to figure it out on their own, it doesn't quite work. And that's something that both of us have worked with ourselves, and we're inviting you to step into for yourselves as well. All right, amazing.
Mm.
Oh,
Well,
so
you know, that actually that ties into our mentor, Bob Proctor.
yeah,
It's so fascinating too, because I want to say to everyone here about I had no idea what he was saying. There were things that he would say in the video when I first was introduced to him on YouTube, not knowing anything about personal development, only understanding it from the level of awareness that I did, but then trusting what felt so crazy, so incredibly illogical, doing things I'd never done before, being coachable, following, not knowing even too, like what was going to happen. I was just telling Troy prior to our webinar, I remember, because, you know, so many of our dreams have come true. I said to Troy, I said, 8 years ago, when I said that these desires that I wanted to experience, I would write them down. I went to a program called The Matrix. That investment was as much as I made in a year, and I only got 6 days, to spend with my mentor. And he had us write down, and this is something we want to encourage all of you to do. Again, I want to collapse time for you the way that it was collapsed for me. I still try to find the words to describe how amazing my life has truly been. There are things in my life, our lives, that money cannot buy. Yes, we have, for me, gosh, dream cars, Porsches, and fast, wings that go up when you go over 50 miles an hour, like these cars I used to see on TV, never imagining that I could experience. Houses I used to go and see, with my family, the rich houses, where the Christmas lights were at, and we'd go and visit. I couldn't have even dared to dream. I couldn't dare to dream that one day that could be my life. But inside, like deep, deep, deep inside, there was that quiet voice that I know that each of you tap into as well, that said, no, you can. And there's more to life than this.
Yeah.
And I remember that. And at the Matrix, Bob had us write down, and I told Troy this. And guys, there are witnesses to testify. This is why, we're called to speak our truth. And Troy is a witness because he was there 7 years ago, in watching different things, and we've been able to see our growth. And other, we have our mentors here, that we are working so closely with, that we've been a witness to their like fantasy like goals, where people would tell them you were absolutely crazy to ever think that that would be possible for you.
Mhm.
And I wrote it all down in 2017, investing everything more than I'd ever invested before, borrowing the belief of others, being guided by a mentor that had the results in which I could feel that I was seeking. Because you see, just because one has billions of dollars doesn't mean, and Troy and I know billionaires, we've met them, and not just one. Yeah, and have spent time with them. You've worked very closely with one, very, very closely. And being in their energy, being behind the scenes. It's not about just the fancy cars and the flashy homes. There's so much more than that. And so the mentor I was drawn to at the time was because of what I was asking, and Bob Proctor had me write it down. And that's exactly what I did. And I was afraid to do it. I said, Troy, there was no way and I'm living it actually beyond what I even wrote down. Like, and it's, yes, all these beautiful things I have around me, which I really do most of the time. Actually, everything is beautiful, even when we meet what Troy and I like to joke around and say are Bergens, if you guys have seen the movie
Mhm.
Trolls. Characters in our movie, in what you all are experiencing, and the human, right? Like, yes, I go into a fantasy in my imagination. Yes, people would think that was crazy if they didn't have the level of awareness. However, I also understand there's the physical. This is right, the parts where I have to see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, and experience this beautiful heaven on earth. It truly
Mhm.
is. And so there are characters that are here to play in our movie, to make the movie a ton of fun. You're not going to go to the movies unless it takes you on a journey. And it's you could say it's a transmutation of energy. And this is why we go to the movies. We love the feelings that we get to have, whether
Mhm.
it's adventure, sadness, drama. Who watches K-drama? If you do, you'll get addicted.
Yeah.
It's been mind blowing when the people that we work with, like really like legendary people, like you think that don't watch TV, right? And they're like, oh no, I watch K-pop or K-drama. You should watch this.
Mhm.
But it's the emotions that we get to invoke, and then you get to be player one. This is the level of awareness. This is a gift, a remembrance of who you are. So like when I was first starting out, I was player one. I was so, oh my God, I invested all this money. I did all this stuff. I don't know what I'm doing, whatever it is. the programs that we're running, and each of us have our own, which makes it fun, if you want to see it that way, is now running new programs, which Troy is going to go over so amazingly. His ability to translate this information is so simple that you almost like want to be like, oh, I know that. Oh, don't do that.
Mhm.
Right? Because our mentor too, who studied over 60 years, who we knew personally, like these aren't even people that we just read about. How amazing is that? Like this was part of my dream. I wanted to meet powerful leaders of the world today that lead in love and light.
Mhm.
And I studied in Bob Proctor's inner circle. Um, and he actually still do. And study of those that there was no way I could understand. And why I mention that is not anything else except to impress upon your subconscious mind Troy's ability to translate this information to you. Like I have something to compare it to. It's so powerful. Ella Vitality being created, it was created by design,
Yeah.
and it's a co-creation of you guys have heard me say, and it's wild because like you and I've watched it like come to life, because I would say Harry Potter, the Hogwarts school, like there
Yeah.
has to be, yeah, like and something even more powerful than the mystery schools, because we've all heard about the uh those, and we've traveled to them too, with Love and Light, and coming back and wanting to share those, what once was called a secret, with all of you. And Troy's ability to translate that is amazing.
Wow.
Absolutely brilliant. So
I love that you're bringing this in, and because um, it's so important that every one of you understand that it all starts in the mind. All the stuff that you were talking about, Dolly, where you're going into this imaginative place, you're thinking about these things, that what you were wanting to see, what you were wanting to experience, it all started inside. I want you to all type in the comments, everything starts in the mind. See, everything is imaginary. Everything happens twice, first in the mind, second in its physical form. With that being said, everything that's unfolding right now, everything that Dolly just shared with you about her experiences, what she wanted to experience, and the things that she wanted to happen. Same thing with me with regards to all of this. What's happening here with Ella Vitality started in the mind. And what's really great is you can do that for you for basically any area of your life. It's just a matter of whether or not you're going to take control of that inner narrative. It's about whether or not you're going to take control of what's called your imagination. Imaginations, that's the starting point of all creation. And again, that's what we're helping and helping you to see, and hoping that you will see, so that you can emerge way beyond anything that you thought was possible in a very short period of time. And that's definitely something that will happen for you. So, matter of fact, let's all type that in the comments. Everything starts in the mind. Everything does, 100%. It starts in the mind. And we're going to help you to gain control of that. So, Dolly, what do you say we get them into meditation?
I
We
think
get
that's
them
fantastic.
starting right into that, so that we can set the tone into where we're going to be moving from there. How does that sound? Good?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So let's go into this. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're sitting comfortably, and we want you to, you can keep your notes, your notepad in front of you if you want, but we want you to go into this and participate with the guidance that's there. We created this. It's a beautiful, beautiful meditation. And again, step into it, because it's going to be really, really awesome. And also keep in mind that this meditation will be available separately for you to download and listen to yourself after this. So make sure that you act on that too as well. All right. So here we go. Let's see. Oh, they said the chat is disabled. I didn't realize that. We'll enable it. Thank you so much. We'll fix that. In the meanwhile, let's get into this. Let's get into the meditation. Here we go.
Right.
All right, here we go. Make sure I do it right here. All right, here we go.
Take a long, steady breath in, and as you exhale, feel your entire body begin to release the weight of the day. Let your shoulders drop, let your chest soften, and allow the world outside of you to fade into a gentle distance. You are stepping out of ordinary time now and entering a space where only presence and possibility exist. Allow yourself to feel the sanctuary that is forming around you.
With each breath, feel yourself sinking into a deeper level of stillness, almost as if the ground beneath you is holding you, supporting you, inviting you to let go of every thought that does not belong in this moment. Let your awareness drift down from the surface of your mind into a quieter, more ancient part of yourself that remembers truths you have not visited in years. Trust that this inner descent is guiding you exactly where you need to be.
Imagine now that the air around you begins to change. It grows softer, warmer, almost textured with light. As you breathe, feel this light brushing against your skin, moving around your body in gentle waves, as if the atmosphere itself recognizes you, as if it has been waiting for you to arrive fully, without distraction, without hesitation. Let this light feel like a welcome. It's to reveal itself. It is vast and towering, carved from stone and starlight, older than memory, yet strangely familiar. You do not approach it as a stranger. You approach it as someone returning to a place that has always held a piece of you. Allow the recognition to rise gently within you.
As you walk toward its entrance, watch how the giant doors slowly begin to open on their own. They do not open from force. They open from recognition. This library knows you. It knows every chapter you have lived, every possibility you carry, every version of yourself you have ever stepped into, and all the ones you have not yet remembered. Feel the magnitude of being welcomed by something so deeply connected to your essence.
Step inside. The light shifts instantly. The air becomes richer, layered with a presence that feels both sacred and intelligent. Shelves rise endlessly around you, filled with glowing books that hum with a faint vibration. These are not books of knowledge. These are books of identity, books of states, books of the infinite versions of you that exist in potential, waiting for the exact moment you are ready to remember them. Let the immensity of these possibilities wash over you.
Every state of being carries its own world, its own relationships, its own obstacles, and its own triumphs. Each one sits quietly, dormant, holding a complete storyline that springs to life the moment you step into its memory. These states are not created. They exist eternally. They wait in stillness until you choose to return to them. Feel the state that is meant for you begin to awaken in your presence.
Take a slow breath and feel the gravity of that truth.
You are not wandering through ideas or theories. You are walking through the living architecture of your own remembrance. Every book on these shelves is a doorway. Every state is an invitation. Every potential is already written inside you, waiting for your presence to restore it. Allow yourself to feel the pull of the one calling your name.
Repeat gently in your mind, letting the words settle like a seed. I am ready to remember the state calling me forward. Feel the resonance of that statement. Feel something inside you, not your mind, but your deeper self, responding. Trust the movement rising within you.
As you walk deeper into the library, you begin to sense a presence approaching. A figure made of soft light emerges between the shelves. This being is not separate from you. It is the embodiment of your oldest wisdom, the part of you that has carried your truth across lifetimes. Notice how calm and familiar this presence feels, as if you have met many times before.
The librarian does not speak with words. Instead, it communicates through feeling, through impression, through a quiet knowing that settles into your chest. It gestures for you to follow, guiding you past rows of books that glow brighter as you walk by, acknowledging your arrival. You can sense that this being is leading you somewhere important, somewhere only you are meant to go.
You arrive at a large circular table illuminated by a soft beam of golden light. Resting at the center of the table is a sealed book, bound in material that shifts like it is alive. This book belongs to you. It contains the state, the identity, the truth of you that is ready to return to your awareness. The cover is blank because it reveals itself only when touched by the one who is meant to open it.
Place your hand on the cover. Feel the warmth rising beneath your palm. Slowly, the seal releases and the book opens. Instead of words, pages of pure light begin turning on their own, revealing impressions, feelings, images, and memories you sense rather than read. This is remembrance rising. This is your deeper identity calling you from within.
The librarian now turns and gestures toward a narrow doorway hidden behind the table. You would have missed it if you were not being guided. Step toward it. As you cross the threshold, a soft staircase, carved from glowing crystal, descends before you. With each step, the air becomes denser, more powerful, more aligned with truth.
At the bottom of the stairs, you enter a vast crystalline chamber. This is the inner council, a circular room filled with gentle light. Around the room sit luminous versions of you, each one representing a different state you have held or could hold. Future selves, higher selves, forgotten selves. They turn toward you as you enter, recognizing you instantly.
There is one empty seat, and it glows for you. Walk toward it. As you sit, feel a wave of remembrance moving through your chest. This is the seat of the self already alive within you. This is the council of your identity, the lineage of your evolution, the gathering of every state that has ever been available for you to reclaim.
Place your hands on the table. The versions of you around the circle place their hands down as well. A soft vibration fills the air, rising gently like the hum of creation. You realize that every one of these selves has been guiding you, supporting you, and waiting for you to claim your place.
The sealed book appears before you once more, resting in front of your seat. But now the pages glow with a single clear state, the one that is ready to return to your awareness. Feel its presence. Feel its identity. Feel its storyline beginning to weave into your energy.
Repeat softly within yourself. I am ready to remember the truth within me. Let that truth land in your chest. Let it resonate through your body.
The future versions of you extend their hands toward you, sending a wave of light that moves into your chest. This is not given to you. It is returned to you. A memory of a state you were always capable of stepping into. Allow the merging to unfold.
A sphere of light forms above the table. It lowers gently into your hands. Feel the warmth. Feel the clarity. Feel the sense of recognition. This sphere is the identity you came here to restore. Bring it to your heart. Allow it to enter fully. Let the remembrance complete.
Slowly, the council begins to fade, but not from distance. It fades into you. You rise from your seat and begin walking back toward the staircase. Every step feels different. Clearer, taller, more aligned. You are bringing this identity with you, not as an idea, but as truth.
You ascend the crystal stairs, return through the hidden passage, and step back into the great library. But now the shelves are glowing brighter. The books shimmer as you pass, acknowledging the state you have restored. You can feel the entire library responding to your shift.
Walk toward the entrance. As you step outside, the landscape is brighter, clearer, more vibrant than when you first arrived. This is the world as seen by the version of you now awake within you.
Repeat softly inside yourself. I remember who I am. I rise as my true self. Let that truth settle into every part of you.
When you are ready, begin to return to your physical body. Feel the surface beneath you. Feel the breath moving through you. Know that you are not returning as who you were. You are returning as who you truly are.
Carry this remembrance with you. Let it move through your choices, your voice, your posture, your energy. You have restored a deeper state of identity, and it will continue to rise long after this moment. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a nice journey. Got to remember who you are. See, this is not about becoming. A lot of people think it's about becoming someone, but it's really not. It's about remembering. There's a lot that's in you that you already have. And your job is to scrape away all of the daubs of perfection, daubs that are there that are over the perfection that you have. So, anyways, that's a big thing that we want you to remember yourself as well. By the way, I did get the chat fixed. So if you could type into the chat how it made you feel, that would be wonderful. So we can see your comments. And yeah, that's really awesome. How about you, Dolly?
Wow. I'm actually seeing the chats
Yeah.
and what people are writing and what I felt during it too, the downloads that I received. Because once again, once your intentions are made, oh my gosh, it was a remembrance. When it was my dad's, he wasn't into music like this. If anyone ever listened to Enigma, there's a song called Return to Innocence.
Mhm.
And it reminded me so much of that because the reason why I moved in the speed I did, again, that's all relevant, right? Like, and however, though, for me, this is what it felt like and continues to feel like is borrowing the belief. There was very few words Bob would have to say, but there was a story that he could tell in the few words that he would say. Because he walked the walk, he didn't just talk the talk, and his ability to transfer that. So even too, like when I met him at the Matrix, and Troy, you've met him too, in the same home, we just met him differently. Our path there was different. But how amazing is it too? You know, I see us as the high council. In the meditation, this is where we travel to. There's Bob would even say it 1% of us that understand on the level of awareness that we do, we got to get this out to more people.
Mhm.
And how we do that is by being who, you know, the true essence of who we are, the remembrance. And I came to it like an innocent kid. I believed everything Bob said. I was like, if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, and there was so much power, you know, because I could feel the truth in everyone's what felt like struggle, no
Mhm.
matter what level they were at. And then I would watch them like, boom, 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 you know, become millionaires, boom, boom, right? Like become famous or, you know, and then all of a sudden we're working with, you know, and continue to, and it's like, whoa, you can't make this up, you know, and it's a feeling that we get to have. And then we realize that at every level, whatever level that is, we're all going through, there's no bypass. There's no bypass. We get to we feel it and then we share it in the sacred spaces that we do, the few of us that understand the high council. We breathe through it. We go, okay, there's no evidence, but absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. I'm sure
Mhm.
many of you guys know where that came from, right? U squared. Although, right, because Dolly said that, and Troy too, we're attracted to the quantum leap. What does that mean? It's different for each of us,
Yeah.
but we feel it.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was the meditation was incredible.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah,
we had to
it's
do is show up. Like it's so true for us too.
yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
just have to show up. It's very, very simple. So let's see the comments now. Let's all of you type in this, if this is true for you. Ready? I want to move in speed. Type that in the comments. I want to move in speed. I want to move faster.
Yeah.
And by the way, do any of you have any time to waste? No, you don't. So let's all type that in the comments. I want to move in speed. And if that's the case for you, I know this might sound kind of weird as I say this because you want to move in speed. Then from there, we have to eliminate you wanting to move in speed. It sounds kind of weird, but it's going to be really amazing for you. Now, with that being said, the way for you to move in speed is to be courageous enough to act on ideas that are not normal for you. See, you've got to have courage. You've got to step into a different way of thinking. You can think of it this way, as within, so without. You want to change the without, you got to deal with what's happening within. And if you are one who's ready to do that, one who's ready to act on some things that don't make sense, I have news for you. This is going to be an amazing experience for you. It's going to be absolutely amazing and incredible. Look at all the comments here. Everybody wants to move in speed. Look at how cool this is. Incredible.
And how confident we can be. Like, this is what I was telling Troy. I said, I couldn't have imagined that I could even be where I am today.
Mhm.
And then those that we attract and where we're going to go. Like, there's sure, like, it's like this new upgrade that you feel. So yes, we've all attracted each other if you believe on your level of awareness, like I did, in the speed that, and Troy too, in the speed that we both believed. Because I got to witness things for you that came true, Troy. I mean, there was, and watching you experiencing it also too, and the lives that you have impacted. Holy shit. Like, why do we say that again?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We say it because we've been conditioned to say holy shit.
Yeah. No, I think that's
That's right.
really, yeah. When you stop my pattern, you go, do you know why we say holy cow?
Yeah.
I love that, because then you stop and go, wow, that is a program. Don't realize that you do that. It's such a beautiful thing, because once again, it's a wisdom. It's something you become, safe
Mhm.
within yourself, like knowing and remembering who you are. And once again, navigating this beautiful place that sometimes we forget is how amazing it can feel. So yes, I would love for you to even share too, like a little bit of your story of
Yeah.
how, yeah.
Okay, I'd love to share that story. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna share the story.
Okay, good.
Okay, so my story is very familiar to what happened with Della. She wanted to make changes, and yet there was something missing, and that was the right information to use. And it all started with me. Actually, when the big change was actually listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. I listened to other people as well, Tony Robbins as well. There's a little sprinkle of Bob Proctor that was in there, but there was one video that shifted everything for me. And it was Gary Vaynerchuk sitting in a car. He was in the cab, and those of you who know Gary Vaynerchuk, he's always spitting out those F-bombs and stuff like that. With that being said, he's been right about a lot of things. But anyways, he was talking about how, so you're approaching 40, 50, and you're thinking that it's basically all done, that you've done everything that you can, and now you're in this state of somewhat giving up, and that you think that you don't have enough time. And then there he sat there speaking into his camera, making this video. And then he says, do you know how untrue that is? Do you know how untrue that is? And then he started to talk about how, okay, fine, the young ones, they have this thing called time provided nothing happens to them. But there's something that you have if you're approaching 40, 50, 60, whatever that number is, that the young ones don't have. And that's called experience. And I was watching going, oh my God, because I literally thought, oh my gosh, I totally messed up. I didn't do things right, whatever, right? But he said, you have experience. And then he then dove into how, if you look back at your life, say that you were approaching 50, at that time I was approaching 50. But look at when you started working. And then if you were to add all that time from when you started working, so I started working, let's just say it was 20 to 50, it's 30 years. And then he would pull in the reference of, well, today in our lives, we're going to live to about 70, 80, even up to 90. A lot longer, more healthy than we have been before. And then he says, well, when you look at that, I really, really want you to grab on that, because wherever the time is that you are right now, you're still going to be moving on. You're still going to be able to do things. And in my particular case, I was thinking, okay, well, what is that? What was that number? And then it looked like it was 30 years or 40 years ahead of me. And I go, wow. And then he said, that's a whole new career. You could do whatever you want. And with that, you can use your experience and deliver outcomes really fast compared to what you did before. And you know what's interesting? It's true. There's been many studies of people who have delivered incredible outcomes in a very short period of time in the years later on, solely because they use their experience. And so I kept watching that video, replaying it again and again and again and again. And I got to tell you, it hit me here. And in that video, he was saying, you know, if there's just one person, if there's just one person that I could connect with and get this message to, it'd be all worth it. And I kept saying, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. And I say, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you. I was speaking to the phone. I'm going to tell you, Gary. I'm going to tell you, Gary. And you know what? I ended up telling him. I actually met him, and it was funny reaching up to him and go, hi, how you doing? He goes, hey, how you doing? I'm him, I'm the guy. And he goes, what do you mean you're the guy? I go, I'm the guy in the video. You said that video, you made that video. He made thousands and thousands of videos. But then when I reminded him what the video was, I told him that at the end of the video, he said, if there was this one person you connect with, it would be all worth it. And I go, well, it was me. And I was almost in tears. And he said, no shit. And he gave me a big old hug. Well, that was a big turning point, which led me to Bob Proctor. I know that sounds kind of weird. Gary Vaynerchuk, Bob Proctor, that doesn't make sense. But really, when you put it together, it really does. Because that's when things open up for me to see that, you know what, I do still have time. And by the way, you do too. There's something in that video that Gary Vaynerchuk did share as well too. He says, as long as your heart's beating, you still have time. I want you to say that to yourself. As long as my heart's beating, I still have time. You do. But the question is how are you going to use the time? And see, through that experience, I decided, well, I'm going to learn how to think differently, because I saw that other people were delivering really great outcomes. Gary Vaynerchuk was one of those people. I saw Bob Proctor, other people as well. And what was the one thing that I found that made the difference in them delivering really great success versus those who don't? Well, they changed how they thought. They shifted the narrative inside. They used their imagination differently. There's a phrase that we share frequently here at Ella Vitality, and that is, you're either a slave to your imaginings or a master of your imagination. And unfortunately, most people are a slave to their imaginings. Think about that. You're approaching 40, 50, you're thinking it's all done. That's something that's happening in your imagination. And if that's happening, it's because there's a belief instilled in you, and there's a habitual pattern of thought that's in you that's actually reconveying that message and putting that image on the screen of your mind. With that being said, it's the latter, being a master of your imagination, that gives you the freedom that you seek. And when you control that, you change everything. See, that video, that one video, because my mind was open, introduced me into a world that I was familiar with, but at the same time, I didn't know it existed, because I'd done a lot of really great things. And, you know, I was in the mortgage business for 25 years. Then I opened up an ice cream store, then a online dinosaur store, backpack company, did all these things. I didn't know how I did it. If somebody were to ask me back then, how did you do that? I would say, you just go out and do it. I didn't understand that there was a lot of stuff happening in my imagination first, which actually led to that. And see, that's what Bob Proctor helped me to see. And by studying what was being shared and using it, it evolved to what you're seeing right now. This Ella Vitality platform here, of which we have this thing called Emergence. There's something I want to bring up into this too, as well as we're going through this, because remember, it's one thing to know this, it's a different thing to understand it. And what you should be seeking is understanding. Uh, don't seek to know, because that's not going to serve you. And with regards to understanding, the only way you gain understanding is through the practice, is through the implementation. So I want to bring this up for you, because I actually pulled this up on the screen, because this is what changed in me. This is what I learned how to change in me, which then changed the outcomes of my life, changed how much I earn, changed lifestyle, changed everything. And that's our invitation to you. So I'm going to pull this up, and you've already seen this before, but again, it's this. Now, this, again, take a big picture of this, take a screenshot of this. Every single one of you, pay close attention to this. This right here is what's determining the results in your life. And this right here is what's in your heart. As you thinketh in your heart, so are you. As you thinketh based on what you believe to be true and the habits you have, so are you. If you don't change that, your life will not change. This is one of my favorite images, because it reminds me of what must change in order for me to change. Now, when you think of this, though, and we did touch on this a little bit earlier, a lot of people think and believe that they are their beliefs and habits, when really they're not. James Allen talks about this. There's a beautiful book, Out from the Heart. And what he talks about is what's in the heart. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. Well, what's in the heart is what's been said in your mind. What's said in your mind are your beliefs and habits. With that being said, the thing that he points out, which I hope that every single one of you get, is that what's planted there, what's there, is not a fixed condition of things. Now, let's just sit in that for just a moment. This right now that's in you right now is not a fixed condition of things. This can be changed. And what's beautiful is when you change it, the results of your life change. So let's think about this for a moment, again, for you. I want you to all type this in the comments. As I think in my heart, so am I. Type in the comments. As I think in my heart, so am I. Now, the thing that we're talking about is rooted from the movement that's happening. As you think, it's based on what you believe to be true and the habits you have, so are you. Now, you want to know what you believe to be true of you, what your habits are? How many of you would love to see a practical example of this in your life? Type in I would if you would. Say, I would. I want to see what this is. I want to see something practically that ties to what's in my heart. Now, if you want to see, I'm going to give you a warning. Because for some of you, this is going to sting like a son of a bitch. You're going to go, oh my God, this is going to hurt. But if your mind is open to receive and shift, this could be one of the most amazing transformational moments in your life. Now, if you want to know what's in your heart, what you believe to be true of you, when it comes to your outcomes, how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, all you need to do is look at what they are right now. Just look at how much you're earning. Just look at that right now. Look at how much you're earning. Look at your lifestyle. Look at the car you drive, the clothes you wear, the people you surround yourself with. All of that is what's done unto you. Now, how many of you, when you looked at that, you kind of went, ouch? Type in ouch. Or maybe you're celebrating, go, yeah, it's great. It could be both. But how many of you, when you look at that, you go, shoo, I need to make some changes here, right? Now, if it's really good, it can be great. It can be even better. Again, the whole point is is that you can change it. You can make a shift. But now let's say like it was an ouch. Well, first of all, don't take it personal, because what's here is just something that's embedded within you. You know, in terms of your beliefs and your habits, most of the beliefs you have, they're not even yours. You're living with other people's beliefs, other people's habits. Where did these beliefs come from? They came from the people that you were around most as you were growing up. Have you ever asked the question, why do you believe what you believe? Most people, they don't know the answer to that question. Maybe you haven't asked yourself that question. Well, here's the truth about where your beliefs came from. They came from your evaluations. Information came into you when you were young. Things were said, things were done repeatedly again and again and again. And from that, you evaluated and formed an opinion. You formed a belief. And it happened so much that it became a habit, a pattern of thought. In other words, it became automatic in you. And then you operated from that. How many of you have stepped into this phrase? Oh, but you think about your characteristics, whatever they are, and you say, but that's just who I am. Maybe you say you're shy. Type in the comments, how many of you are shy? Say, I am shy, if you're shy. Or you can say whatever it is if it's not shy. Type in, I'm shy. I'm going to speak to those of you who say you're shy, okay? You want to hear the truth? You're not shy. You've been conditioned to be shy. See, if you have shyness in you, and I know because I used to be shy, right? It's because I believed that other people's opinions were more important than mine. I believed things about other people that they were more important than me. But see, that didn't mean I was shy. It was there was a program running in me that was protecting me. The whole point being is that that's not who you are. That's not what you are. That's the conditioning that was in you. Well, you know, it's the same thing when it comes to how much you earn. It's the same thing when it comes to your lifestyle, what you do for work. All of it is inside of you. And again, what's beautiful is that you don't have to consent to it. Type that in the comments. I don't have to consent to things as they are. All capital letters. I don't have to consent to things as they are. You can change things. You can change your life. Now, how do I know this? How do I know that you can change your life? How do I know that you can change your outcomes? Well, because I did it for myself and we've helped other people do it too as well. We share the right information. We don't share this shallow surface stuff. When it comes to making changes, we deal with the deep penetrating thought that forms your character. Working with the Law is a book that Raymond Hollywell wrote, and that's what we help you to see. See, we deal with principles, we deal with laws. And what's beautiful is once you learn how to do this, guess what changes your results? Now, let's talk about this in terms of the beliefs and the habits that you have, more specifically beliefs. Have you ever noticed that when you believe something, it's true? And have you ever noticed that you never go further than what you believe to be true? And that with that belief, you have this faith that's in exact proportion to the belief. Now, I know that sounds like a big old bunch of words right now, but I'm going to help you to understand the importance of changing this. And I'm also going to share with you how you don't have an issue with faith. None of us has a faith problem. Every one of us operates beautifully according to the faith we have, the belief we have, which is in harmony with that faith. But with that being said, I want to share with you how you can see the importance of shifting this and what we have for you to help you to make that change, and how it can change everything in your life. Because remember the statement, as it is done unto me as I believe. How many of you have heard that phrase? It is done unto you as you believe. The most important word in that statement is as. Why? Because what's done unto you is conditional based on what you believe. So here's how we're going to help you to see this. But before you do that, I want you to type in the comments, I will never go further than what I believe to be true. No one does. You will never go further than what you believe to be true. So again, type that in. I will never go further than what I believe to be true. Now, here's how I'm going to share with you the truth of that practically. And again, this ties into us helping you to understand what's really in the way of the progress that you're seeking. How many of you here believe that there's going to be an evening and then a morning and an evening and morning? Right now it's 11:20 PST over here. If you're in my time zone, do you believe that there's going to be 11:21, 11:22, whatever the time zone is for you? Whatever that number is, it's going to move forward in minutes and then hours. You believe that there's going to be a 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Right now it's Saturday. You believe that there's going to be a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You believe that there's going to be a December, January, February, March, that the seasons are going to continue, right? How many of you believe that? Type in, I believe that. Type it in the comments. I believe that. You believe that, don't you? There's not a single one of you here who does not believe that. And you want to hear something really interesting. Yes, we all believe it, but there's no one who can prove that it's going to happen. You don't know it's going to happen. You believe it's going to happen. So you can only believe in what you don't know. Now, there are things in history that reveal a pattern. The whole point being is that it's not something you know, it's something that you believe. Now, what's the statement I had you type in? I will never go further than what I believe to be true. Remember, we're going to tie this into how much you're earning, your lifestyle, changing all of that. With that being said, I want you again to notice that you believe that. Now, because of that belief in the endless march of time, you have faith that's in direct proportion to that, don't you? You have faith about that. And with that faith, what do? You set appointments. You go to Amazon, purchase, right? You go to TikTok shop or whatever. You order things to be delivered at a different time. You schedule flights. Think about it. You would not move into doing any of that unless you believed that there was going to be the time there for it. Now sit in that for a moment. How many of you can clearly see that? You would not set your calendar, you would not book an appointment, you would not make a reservation, you wouldn't purchase something to be delivered later unless you believed that there was time ahead of you. Type in the comments, okay, I get it. Now again, grab onto that. Because that exact principle is in play for the things you do and the things you don't do, which lead to the results in your life. If you are not earning what you would love to earn, it means you're not doing the things you need to do to get there, which means there's some kind of belief in you that doesn't think it's possible, or there's some kind of habit in you that feels normal and comfortable that you're unaware of, which then leads you to do more of the same things that you do. Now think about how simple that is. And see, this is the thing that most people miss. They miss it. How many of you, for instance, when you see somebody who's successful, they've done something, you go and ask them, well, how did you get there? What do they tell you? Well, I just did this. And you think that by doing that, you'll be able to get that. And you go and try and do that, but then the results don't show up. Why? If it was about the knowledge, if it was about the strategy, you would have it. But see, there's something else in play, isn't there? There's something else that's actually in the way of you delivering that outcome. And it's not you, it's something else, something much, much different. And that's what we're wanting you to see. Now, how many of you, when I gave you that example of time, if, for instance, you didn't believe that there was going to be time, that you would just basically sit there and do nothing? If you knew that it wasn't going to work. See, again, this goes into belief. You believe you can, you believe you can't. I got news for you. You're right. See, that's what you've got to shift to change the outcome. That's what you got to shift to change how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, all of that. Relationships. It all stems from the same place. Now let's look at it from this point of view. Let's look at it from this crazy awesome stick person. How many of you like the stick person? How many of you seen the stick person? Type in stick person rocks if you know what this is. I'm going to share with you a beautiful way for you to understand what it is that we're talking about. Now, this right here is the most valuable tool I've ever come across to help me to organize my thoughts. Now, why is this so important? Now, this was introduced to me by Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor got it from this guy named Leland Val Vanderwall, who got it from a different guy called Dr. Thurman Fleet. He was the originator of this. Dr. Thurman Fleet was. He was a natural healer. And the problem that he ran into when trying to help somebody was that he didn't know how to convey to them what their mind was. How many of you recognize that you've got to change your mind to change your life? Type in the comments, I must change my mind to change my life. You got to change your mind. You got to change what's happening in your mind, I should say. I must change what's in my mind. Now, this poses a problem. And the reason why this poses a problem is because nobody knows what the mind looks like. Think about that. And think about the importance of knowing what something looks like to give your mind order. Okay, let's go with this and use an example. Okay. Think of a dog. Now, as you're thinking of a dog, what do you see? You see, if you have a dog, you probably see your dog, correct? And I want you to notice that what's there. It's a picture. There's order in your mind. There's clarity. If you don't have a dog, you think of another dog. The whole point being is that when you see the dog, there's order in your mind. You have something to work with. Now, if you don't know what your mind looks like or anything like that, then you got confusion. Well, yeah, I know I've got to change my mind, but I don't have something to work with. Well, that's where this comes into play. Now, I know that this is not what the mind looks like. It's just a representation to give you order in your mind. With that being said, once you get this and use it, it'll start to change everything for you in a big, beautiful way. And we're going to share with you also how this helps you to understand how to make the shift in your subconscious mind, which is your heart. Remember that picture that I shared with you here, this, you got to change this. And it will share with you where this lives in this. Okay, so you ready? How many of you are ready to see a little bit more of this to get some more clarity? Say, I'm ready. I'm totally ready. Now, before we do that, guess what? We're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway. How many of you would like a giveaway? We're going to send to you a winner a prize. Who wants a prize? Who wants a gift? Dolly, let's pull you up on the screen before we go into this other piece here. Okay. I like giveaways, don't we? So, who wants a prize? Who wants a giveaway? We like this part, don't we, Dolly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd love it when, because we would always win.
So the big question is, who wants to give away? Who wants the prize, right? Who wants a beautiful gift that we're going to send over to you. We're going to send you something really, really cool. Okay. So the question is, who's it going to be, Dolly? So we actually need to pick who this beautiful person's going to be, and we're going to scan through. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to be scrolling up and down on this side over here, and then I want you to say stop. See, Dolly cannot see what I'm scrolling up and down with regards to the names, okay? And so I'm just going to be scrolling up and down, and then Dolly, you're going to say stop, and then we're going to choose the winner, and then we will get your information, and we will send you something from Ella Vitality. Okay, you ready? Okay, so I'm scrolling up and down right now. Ready, Dolly? You just tell me when to stop.
Now, are
I'm
you
not
going to scroll
looking.
just, wait, hold on. Are you going to just, okay, there we go.
I'm
Okay, yeah.
scrolling up and down on the attendees that are here. You got to be here in order to win. Okay. There's other people who registered. No, this is only for people who are here right now. So what I'm doing is on the list of people who are here, I'm scrolling up and down that list right now, and you're just going to tell me when to stop. See, I'm going up and down on that
Okay.
list.
All right.
Ready?
I cannot see. Ready?
You,
Go.
you can't get. You just say stop.
Okay. And stop.
Okay, stop. Who is it? Marlene Mendoza.
Yeah.
Marlene, you won. Oh my goodness, you won. You won a surprise. And oh my goodness, what are we going to send her? We're going to send you something really, really cool. So let's take a note here to send Marlene something. We're going to actually send you a set of books, beautiful books that we're going to send you, and something else too. We're going to send you a bracelet.
And oh, that's so good to add.
Yeah, bracelet and books. So Marlene, bracelet and books. Congratulations. Everybody give congrats to Marlene. All right. Amazing. Woohoo! We're gonna give away something else too. Don't worry. It's not stopping here. It's not stopping here. Matt, maybe we should do another one.
I love that. I always win. That's my affirmation too.
Okay, so should we choose another one?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's choose another one. We need to choose another
Yeah.
winner too. All
And
right.
the winner already knows that they've won.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Who else wants to win? Type in I want to win. I want to win. You want to win? Okay. Goes, I want to win. Okay, here we go. Okay,
Okay,
I'm gonna scroll up and down again.
Okay.
And ready? I'm going
Ready?
up and down. You just tell me when to stop.
Ready and stop.
Bav Patel.
Ah,
Bav. Hi, Bav. Everybody give a big old congrats to Bav. Congratulations. Oh my goodness, this is going to be amazing. So we got Bav and Marlene, both of which we are going to send you something really, really super, super cool. We will ship it out to you. We'll get your address. So if you could make sure you send us your address. Dolly, if you can get the chat from them and get their address so that we can send them.
Marlene, we have.
Yeah,
We're
and then
gonna
Bav
see
too as
Marlene.
well. Woohoo! Again, we'll give some more stuff away later. All right. So as I'm pulling up this next part for the stick person, Dolly, what did you get? What do we want to share? What do you want to share with them from what I shared with them? About what did you get? I mean, when you first understood it, my gosh, it's just about changing beliefs and habits. How much did that change in your life?
That was such a good news for me, because of the ability to, my imagination was already so strong, and I feel that everyone that's here also too can relate to that, and to know that, because it did seem so crazy to think this way until somebody could explain it the way you do. That's like more practical. It's more, there's not a rejection to it. If so. It's this understanding that Bob would talk about. Like, it's your level of understanding. And what I got each time I hear it, and it's different every time. That's why I even said at the beginning when we started this ascension, was that you and I were also too, just like everyone else, evolving. Like, we're doing this together. And so, and so once again, I get to be a witness to the very truth that we study. Even the books and the gifts that you all, that are receiving, like, that is something that you've been asking for. There's answers there if you believe that to be true. And how fun is that when you do? So your ability to to translate that, Troy, is just brilliant because it almost satisfies the intellectual, it's like looking at it from every angle, and it's like, yeah, more like, and everything starts to click, all the chaos. And, heaven's first law is order. So bringing order to the mind. So for every time that we do this, because I'm also in a state of a new energy too, because we're now transferring new information, new experiences that we've had. And I remember leaving the Matrix and Bob saying, give it to them in doses, but then watching the ability for you to translate that and teaching it is amazing. So I just want to share once again to everyone that's here taking notes, and even if you've heard this information before, please understand there is a key in repetition. This is part of like what the secret societies talk about. Like repetition is key of the same information, coming at it from different angles with experience and wisdom. And so it's very powerful. So this is part of my manifestation, guys. Like I'm behind the scenes watching things come to life in the speed that I've been able to experience that. And I'm doing the best I can to translate that to each of you. So this is really, you've called this in. You're not investing your time for nothing. You're really tuned into that. So just big congratulations to each of you.
Awesome. Love that, Dolly.
Me too.
Amazing. All right, so I'm going to pull in now, before we go to the stick person, something that is something that we use, okay? And it's tied into emergence itself. Now, this here is actually from lesson 1 in emergence. It's actually the most important lesson throughout this beautiful program that we put together. And I want you to notice the title. It's the Golden Rule of Application. And again, we're sharing with you information that's here. And one of the things that we do repeat frequently, and we're going to repeat it again here, is that knowing is not going to change your life. It's only understanding. The only way you gain understanding is through use, is through practice. So for instance, I shared with you that it's important for you to shift your beliefs and habits. We're going to talk about how to shift your beliefs and habits and how you can use the stick person in your life to make the shift. With that being said, the only way you get it is by actually using it. Now, there's a beautiful statement here that's embedded within this, and that's seed, plant, blossom, fruit. And I want you to notice this picture here of this. You got the seed, plant, blossom, fruit. Now, here, what's being emphasized is what's called the law of cause and effect. Cause and effect. All of you type in the comments, cause and effect. The results in your life are the effect. How much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle. If you want to change the effect, you've got to deal with the cause. You've got to deal with what's planted in your heart. Now, here, again, I want to emphasize the importance of you getting this. And I'm going to actually read from this section here and go straight down here to this. Now, there's a simple truth behind this. And what this is being referred to is that everything is happening. Everything happens for a reason. There's everything, every cause has an effect. Now, here is what is important for you to see. Nothing in your life happens by accident. The world works by law, and one of the most important is the law of cause and effect. Okay, sowing and reaping, you can look at it that way. Everything you see on the outside is an effect. The cause is always on the inside, and it all begins with how you think. Type that in the comments, all capital letters. It all begins with how I think. How you're thinking. Not what you're thinking, how you're thinking. Now, what you expect and what you deeply believe shape every result you experience. Now, we just talked about that from this other picture of those beliefs and habits. You remember that image that we showed you in terms of that slide of the beliefs and habits? You remember this one here, where you got these beliefs and habits that are there, right? And that this is what we're talking about. We're talking about making that shift. Now, that's something that's in you. Now, to see how simple and exact this law is, we look to nature. Now, James Allen describes it as what he calls the fourfold order of the universe: seed, plant, blossom, fruit. Type that in the comments: seed, plant, blossom, fruit. If you want to change the fruit, you got to deal with what's been planted there. If your results are what they are, you got to understand that's what you're supposed to be reaping. I want you to all grab onto this. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Now, some of you that might sting, but that's okay. Don't make it personal. Some of you might go, it's really, really great. Well, guess what? It can be even better. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. So seed, plant, blossom, fruit. This is the natural rhythm of life, the process of sowing and reaping, which is the same law of cause and effect expressed in visible form. Every result in your life follows the same order. Now, let's say you're looking at your results. You have more month at the end of the month. You want to turn it to more money at the end of the month, a lot more money at the end of the month. Well, don't bitch and complain about what's happening. You got to understand that that result is there because of what's been sown in you. It's because of what you believe, because of the habits you have, because of what's here. If you want to change it, you got to change what's in the heart. And eventually it will produce fruit that matches whatever's been planted. Type this in the comments. Everything produces after its kind. Everything does. Everything produces after its kind. If I planted corn and then all of a sudden the corn comes out and it's a wonderful, beautiful harvest, and then I call you complaining that I have corn, what are you going to say? Especially if I say, I didn't want corn, I wanted beans. What are you going to tell me? Troy, you should have planted beans. See, it doesn't do any good to bitch and complain about what's there. If you want to change it, change what's been sown. Now, the main reason why I wanted to pull this in to this before we go into the stick person is to connect, again, the beliefs and habits and how we're going to get there using this. And the way that I'm going to share this with you is it comes from the second page in this chapter. Remember how I had you state everything produces after its kind? Well, everything in nature produces after its kind. And the same is true for thought. Like attracts like. And the way that I want you to see this is from something that was beautifully shared by Robert Collier in my favorite book, Secret of the Ages. And right here, this right here is a magnificent gem, which actually led to a lot of what you're seeing right now. And I want you to pay close attention to this. Robert Collier expressed this truth beautifully. What did he say? He said, every condition, every experience of life is a result of our mental attitude. We can do only what we think we can do. We can be only what we think we can be. We can have only what we think we can have. What we do, what we have, what we do, what we are, what we have, all depend on what we think. We can never express anything that we do not first have in mind. The secret of all power, all success, all riches is in first thinking powerful thoughts, successful thoughts, thoughts of wealth and supply. We must build them in our own mind first. Now, here in this specific lesson, there's a statement here. Pause and let that sink in. Pause and let the truth that as within, so without is a law, it's a principle. That you can change the outside by changing what's happening on the inside. That you can change how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, by shifting the inner narrative. Let that sink in. Now, why is this so important? Well, because as shared in this is the essence of the golden rule of application. Thought is the cause, experience is the effect. Type that in the comments. Thought is the cause, experience is the effect. If you want to change the experience, you've got to deal with the cause. And when you do that, you'll take charge of the results of your life. You no longer be a slave to the tyranny of second causes. How many of you want to be in control of your life? How many of you would love to get rid of the outside controlling your ass? Type in the comments, I've had it. I've had enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want some big, beautiful change in my life. Well, I have news for you. You can change it. You know, you were designed to succeed. We're absolutely designed to succeed. You can change it. Now, again, this is the essence of the golden rule of application. Thought is the cause, experience is the effect. The moment you begin to change what you think and feel, how you're thinking, you begin to take charge of your results. Remember, we talked about this in terms of the beliefs and habits? That's stuff that's happening inside of you. Once you understand how to change this, you're in control of your life. Your results change. And by the way, they change in exact proportion to the changes you've made here. And guess who gets to determine how much of this you're going to change? You. It's you. It's always going to be you. It's 100% going to be you. So how many of you, when you think of this and you see that change can happen and you consent to the idea, you know what? Am I able to make change? How many of you can see, you know what, that you're able to make a change? Type in, I'm able to make a change. Well, if you're able to make the change, which everyone can see that, the question then becomes is, are you willing to do what's necessary to make the change? And what's beautiful is if you've answered both of those in the affirmative, yes and yes, and also provided your mind is open and you're willing to move information around, I have news for you. You can deliver incredible change in your life. But guess who has to do the work? Everybody point to yourself. Okay, it's you, it's you. It's going to be you. It's always going to be you. It's going to be you. Now, let's tie this into crazy awesome stick person. Oh, I love it. You know that when I speak with people, if you and I were to have a conversation, this is how I would see you. I'd see you like that. Again, this is the most valuable idea I've ever come across. And by the way, we have a subconscious code mastery edition coming up where this physical item is going to be here with a beautiful red jasper heart with an incredible in-depth outline and journal that's coming your way for this. So get ready. But now let's think about this for you. Let's see why this is so important. Remember, we think in pictures. We think in pictures. Now, this here is what Dr. Thurman Fleet came up as a model for the mind. Now, let's go over this. Now, remember, this is not what the mind looks like. This is just a model you can use to organize your thoughts. So, think of the big circle there as the mind. Okay? And I want you to notice how it's divided there. There's a line in between it. Up top are your senses. You see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Those are the receptors for you to connect with the physical world, of which is the effect. Remember, the real world you live in is not a physical world. It's a thought evolved world. It's an imaginal one. Now, when you think in terms of those senses that are there, you have also the body. I want you to notice how the body, right over there, is smaller than the mind, how it's connected. You got the mind, your senses, see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, and the body. Now, the top part is what's called the conscious mind. Okay, this is very important for you, the conscious mind. The below is the subconscious mind. So conscious mind, subconscious mind. Now, this is a big deal. Why? Because the mind instructs the body to deliver an action, which then delivers a result. Now, think about how simple this is. I'm going to go back. The mind, okay, you get the conscious and subconscious, but the mind itself instructs the body to deliver an action, which then delivers a result. Now, the conscious mind is also referred to as what's called the thinking mind. That's the intellectual mind. In your thinking mind, you have what's called agency. It's where you make decisions, where you accept, reject. It's where your intellect is. Your subconscious mind is what's called the emotional mind, the heart. Oh, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. This emotional mind is where your beliefs and habits are. Remember that beliefs and habits image? That's where your self-image is, what you believe to be true of you. Now, with this, though, it's important for you to understand that your subconscious mind must accept. Your conscious mind, you can accept, reject. Your subconscious mind, it doesn't have the ability to reject anything. It must accept whatever is impressed upon it. It only knows what it sees. And time means nothing to it. Now, why is this important? Well, because the mind instructs the body to deliver an action, which then delivers a result. And now let's go further. So you got the thinking mind, the emotional mind, the heart. Matter of fact, before we move any further, type in the comments, as I thinketh in my heart, so am I. Type that in the comments. As I thinketh in my heart, so am I. You've done it before, but I want you to type it again. As I thinketh in my heart, so am I. Now, the conscious part of your mind is the master. Now, sit in that for a moment. The thinking mind is the master, where you get to accept, reject ideas. It's the master. The emotional mind is the servant. Now, with that being said, it's important for you to understand a lot about this servant, because it's a loyal servant. Your subconscious mind, your heart, is a loyal servant, but guess what? It's not loyal to you. It's loyal to what you've made important. Now, why is that important? Well, because the body is given instructions by the mind to move into an action which then delivers a result. Now, let's step back here for a moment with regards to this servant here. Because remember, one of the key components with regards to your subconscious is that it must accept, it doesn't have the ability to reject. And guess who gets to put in front of the subconscious mind any idea you want to? You. And from that, it will be loyal to whatever's placed there. But remember, not be loyal to you. Now let's go further. In terms of the conscious part of your mind, this is where the knowing comes into play. Remember how I said, what you know doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you do. And most people keep whatever they have in their mind in the intellectual part of their mind, which doesn't move them into motion. See, you've got to go to where the doing happens, or where the doing comes from. So the conscious part of the mind is where the knowing happens. The heart is where the doing comes from. Why is that important? Well, because the mind instructs the body to then deliver an action, which then delivers a result. Now, think about the breakdown of this. You know, it's really cool. In this book, there's no such thing as self-sabotage. This is broken down beautifully in this. And it's also broken down even better in the Emergence program itself. I mean, it goes way deeper. But I want you to think about the breakdown of this. The master, the servant, master is up there. 97% of what you do comes from what's in the heart. Actually, the number is actually higher. I was actually thinking about this more, and it's more like 98, 99%. Actually, it's way up there. The overwhelming majority of the things you do, your behavior, come from what's in your heart. Very little of it is conscious. But again, this is important because if 97%, according to this breakdown, is what comes from the heart, that means that the conscious part of your mind is only 3%. I'm actually going to adjust this to be like 99% and 1%. With that being said, you get the picture. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, because the mind instructs the body to deliver action, which then delivers a result, an outcome. But see, this is the thing where I really want you to grab onto and understand. Again, the knowing, the doing happens from there. But if you operate and try to do everything solely based from what's up here, and you don't use your heart or condition your heart to do things, you're going to start burning out. Why? Because your heart is like a thermostat. Now, what happens when you set a thermostat in your house? Right here, it happens to be 73 degrees. You set the thermostat to 73. And let's say that the temperature outside seeps inside and makes it colder inside. What will happen if your thermostat is set, and provided your whole system is working, what will happen? It'll start to heat up the place until it reaches 73 automatically. Let's say like the temperature outside is really hot, and then the heat seeps into the house. You have your thermostat to set to 73, and then it gets hot inside. What will happen? It'll automatically cool the place to be 73 degrees. See, your beliefs, your habits, what's in your heart, serves as what's called the thermostat. See, it's like an autopilot. And that's a big deal. It's an autopilot. Change the autopilot, you change your life. Change what you believe to be true, you change the habits, you change your life. Type this in the comments. People form habits, habits form futures. When you change those things, your life changes. Now let's go back to, again, this percentage here that we're talking about the 3% and the 97%. And I want you to think of the conscious part of your mind as having the power of an ant. Now, ants are pretty powerful. They can lift a lot more than what they are. I mean, wouldn't you agree that an ant is pretty powerful? With that being said, what would happen in your life if you tried to get things done using the power of an ant when what's required to move your life is the power of an elephant? Let's think of a car, for instance. Let's say you have your car, you have first gear in your car, and imagine trying to go 80 miles an hour in first gear. What would happen to your engine? You disintegrate. See, your subconscious mind is where the bulk of the work happens. Remember, that's where the doing is. The conscious part of your mind is the master. The servant is your subconscious mind. You get to use your conscious mind, if you use it correctly, to change the program inside so that it can do the work for you. You know that that's all you have to do to make a change? When you learn how to reprogram the heart, things start to happen effortlessly. And that's what we're wanting you to see. Now, there's more involved with regards to this in terms of pulling down the information to the heart, in terms of there's other things that have to do with the higher mental faculties. But the whole point with me sharing this with you is that everything that we do here is about helping you to shift what's in the heart so you'll do different things and deliver different outcomes. Take a screenshot of this. Take a big, beautiful picture of this. Change what's in the heart, and you change the results of your life. And that's what we've pulled together for you to use in your life. But then again, the big question lies is, okay, well, what do we do? How do we change it? How do we make the shift? What is it that's got to happen? What's the process that's got to be put into play so that I can do that? And not only do that, but understand it so I can change it for something else. Then that's a really big thing, by the way, a huge thing. Type this all in the comments, my friends. Everything is delivered the same. Everything is. See, once you learn how to make the shift on the inside, you can change the results for anything. Why? Because everything's delivered the same. It's always a thought before it becomes an idea, before it becomes the thing. And what's beautiful is that there's a process here available for you, which actually shows you how to do it. And then on top of that, there's amazing accountability and guidance to help you to do it yourself, so that you can understand it, so that you can get it and also transfer it to someone else. How many of you have kids? Type in, I have kids. And you would love to help them to make changes. Maybe things aren't going the way that you want them to go, but you would love to help them to make a change, and you would love them to act on their dreams. Now, in terms of you that do have kids, how many of you want your kids, for instance, to act on their dreams, to go for it? You know what the best way is for you to help them to do that? It's not by telling them. It's by you doing it yourself. It's by you being the example. See, that's where you can make the difference. By making the change inside of you. How many of you, for instance, have run into that situation where people are just telling you, but yeah, it doesn't grab. But then you see someone who's doing something that, oh my gosh, that's inspiring. And then all of a sudden you find yourself acting on that. Well, it's the same thing for you. Betty, that's beautiful. You said you have grandkids. Oh my gosh, the best way for you to inspire your grandkids is by you continuing to act on the big, beautiful things that you would love for your life and make those changes inside of you. And that's what is available for you. But again, guess who has to do the work? See, it's you. Again, it's always going to be you. You know, so interesting as I think back on the things that have been accomplished in my life, the things that I've done, and I've shared this earlier before, but I'll share it again. A common question was asked of me, well, how did you do that? How did you go and do that? And then I would just look at them, well, I just did it. Well, how can I do that? You just do it. How many of you have run into that before where somebody says to you, you just go and do it. I just got to do it. Type in the comments, just do it. How many of you, for instance, know you got to just do it? But then you don't do it. How many of you recognize that's frustrating? It's frustrating. It sucks. It's confusion, frustration. I know I've got to do it, but why am I not doing what I know? How many of you relate to that? It's like, what the heck? This shouldn't be so difficult. This should be super easy. I mean, there's only two things you need to know to deliver a different result. You just need to know where you are. You need the result. And what do you do? You get to work. I just got to do it. But then you don't. And then you get reminded. How many of you run into this? You get reminded. And then after you're reminded, you say, I know. I know. Yeah, thank you. I know. But then the same pattern shows up. It sucks, doesn't it? Right? Well, you know why it doesn't happen? It's because of who you're being. You see, yes, you know you've got to do it. And by the way, that phrase does sound pretty sexy, doesn't it? Just do it. Nike did a great job with that. But you want to hear the truth, though? What will get you to do the physical things is not the phrase, just do it. It's a much different statement. It's actually far more powerful, but it doesn't sound as sexy. And that is just be it. You have to shift who you are being inside, the identity that you've agreed to, not in terms of changing your identity about who you truly are. You know, there's no such thing as self-sabotage. It breaks that open beautifully. And so does emergence too. But see, you have to shift who you're being. Type this in the comments. In order for me to do, I must first be. In order for me to do, I must first be. See, the statement again is just be it. If you think in terms of a goal card, by the way, every single one of you should have a goal card. And we have these available for you, and we can get these to you as well. If you don't have them from here, then use an index card. Make it important. But see, again, here's where you get to make a decision about the identity that you're going to claim when it comes to your next level of consciousness, your next level of awareness. And what's beautiful is when you understand this beautiful stick person, that you, wait a minute, I just need to impress upon my subconscious mind an idea and hold it up here, which goes into an even deeper lesson. Oh, that lesson's amazing, incredible. Things change dramatically. I'll share with you what I mean by this. in terms of the depth of what we're talking about here. There's another lesson in emergence that has to do with, first of all, awareness. And then the next one is the stick person. Yes, we got the subconscious code that's beautifully intertwined with it, which goes deep into it. But when you dive into your true identity and then from there use the stick person and connect with that, everything starts to shift. Now, this is what I mean by this. And I want you to really grab onto this, okay? I want you to ask this question, okay? Who am I? Now, what's the answer to that question? When you ask that question, what is the answer you come up with? And most people, they answer with their race, their name, their skin color. They don't really answer with the true essence of who they are. This is why I say, what's the identity that you're going to claim here without interfering with your true essence of who you are? Who are you going to be right now? Because that's a concept. The whole point being is that when you connect with who you are, and then you use something like this to help you to shift into a new identity to give you a different result and learn how to change that, then what starts to shift are the outcomes of your life. And what's really beautiful about all of it is that there's a practical way for you to engage with making the change by simply just doing the work. And the way, again, that I'll share this with you is by pulling up onto the screen, for instance, the depth of another beautiful lesson that's shared here from Emergence as well that ties into that. So here, let me pull this up on the screen so you can see it. And again, this is really good when it comes to application. Okay, so here's where it is. So for instance, here is lesson 8 about the invisible blueprint. Remember, this is talking about this. And it's actually extension of the subconscious code. And this beautiful invisible blueprint, there's a beautiful statement here that understanding comes before change, but it ties into helping you to understand the outlines that are inside of you and how your mind is organized. Remember the picture that we shared with you, conscious mind, subconscious mind, then there's the body. Well, here, there's something that's beautiful that's tied into this to help you to understand what's in your mind and how to use it. We didn't talk too much about these higher mental faculties, but with that being said, those beautiful tools that you have, which are your higher mental faculties, they all live in this conscious part of your mind. And when you exercise and use those to impress upon your subconscious ideas, again, it changes the outcomes of your life. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Well, because I want you to see that the depth of this, once you get it, you'll be able to use for any area of your life. And I know I've repeated it several times, but you see, this is the thing that I had to learn myself and something that Dolly had to learn herself as well. So from here, like when you're thinking about making the change, though, it then comes back to this question: are you willing to do the work? Now, again, many of you were invited by someone to come here to listen to this stuff, to listen to what it is that we're talking about. And the thing that, again, we want to emphasize to you is that you being led here was not by accident. It was something that was called, that you were calling out to for some reason or another. But now the question is, are you going to answer the call? How much has the sick person helped you, Dolly?
Oh, it was so good. And once again, it goes back to the teachings of those that have an awareness, based on their experience and their willingness to share with us through their courage. It takes, because it's incredibly powerful. Because even though I've heard it, I remember the first time that it was presented to me 8 years ago, I had no idea because I didn't understand that's why too, the repetition, because I remember Bob Proctor talking about, even when you're listening, you're off in other thoughts. You're off in your world, like connecting dots and putting together the chaos and revising your history, which revises the present moment and how you feel, which then revises your future. The stick man is incredibly powerful because over and over again, what you're doing is, you're being conscious of the program that's been running for centuries and having this level of understanding that feels so effortless to let go and release and to allow the new. Because when the new idea does come through, there is, and then to like have it in your brain to go, oh, this is what's happening. And you don't feel so, you know, too far gone, like, on a kite that's loose, where you feel very grounded, safe, in the truth of this. And the stick man is, I've seen others that it has served. And so, yeah, again, I remember when you created that graph years ago when we were, I feel like Jedis in training with Bob Proctor. Troy created this and sent it out to everyone. And just that just a little bit that you added. I mean, it's not a little bit, but those that wouldn't have understood it might have looked at it and said it was so simple. And it is. It's simple concepts, but not so easy, and the adding of that in the diagram is brilliant. I mean, and how it's all put together and how our teachers before us have said the same, like take what I have taught and make it better, translate it, better. That's what our teachers said. And pretty wild that because every time you do, and every time, we have this enlightenment, this remembrance, life becomes more joyful, peaceful, because you're going to run into the challenges. Once again, there's no way around that. You're going to have to face reality, right? But you can face them with an upgraded version of who you've shown up as before, because now you have this level of understanding that it's like, look at this diagram, look at what is really happening. It is not you. You're not a machine, but you have a machine. And you want an advantage in the game? Let's reprogram the avatar.
Yeah.
It's real. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
was.
that you just said something here, and we didn't touch too deep on this, but we did touch on it. And this is probably one of the most important things that you can get, especially making the shift when it comes to this way of thinking. And that is that what's in the way is not you. Because a lot of us have consented to the idea, unfortunately, that we're stopping us, that we're in our own way, that we're our own worst enemy, that we self-sabotage, when really that's not true at all. What's in the way is not you, it's your programming, and you can change your programming. Now, on some people on the people might think on that's something on the surface we're just playing with semantics, but we're really not, because the things that you say, how you maneuver through things, which is all coming from how you're thinking, they have enormous impact on your life. And when you phrase things as you stopping yourself, your own worst enemy, that you're battling against yourself, which is actually a complete lie, it unfortunately leads to a lot of guilt, shame, and next thing you know is you're stuck and the results are the same, and you're frustrated, confused, and that sucks. How many of you have gone through that? I have. It sucks. But once I changed it, once I shifted it, and once I started to apply the right information, that's when everything opened up. And now today, the level of success that Dolly and I are delivering right now has been nothing short of a miracle. Really no such thing as a miracle, but I love saying that because it's kind of fun. But it's happening because we made a change inside. And if we can do it, guess who can do it too? You. And that's what we invite you to act on. And I want you to also notice how I said the right information. It's very important that you apply the right information. Now, here's a beautiful thing that's tied to that. All of you already have the right information. You have it. It's just that we're organizing it in a way to help you to see it clear. With that being said, you need to shift from knowing it to applying it. And that, unfortunately, and I've said this many times, and I'm going to say it again, that unfortunately is a bad habit that the personal development world has instilled in a lot of people. That habit of gathering information, passive study, it doesn't work. So you have to get into an environment where people are using the information. The people you surround yourself, very important. For instance, the mentors that we work with, the ones who maybe invited you here, they are using the information, which means they understand it. And if you follow their instructions, you'll see some big changes in your life. Now, if you were invited here by us, you can reach out to us and we'll help you too as well with regards to that. The whole point being is that you must shift from being someone who knows to somebody who is being it and using it. You know, there's a chapter, actually, we just went over this a little bit already before. It's actually in the first chapter of Emergence, and it's this statement here of the flaw of passive study. And you may have heard the saying that knowledge is power, but that's not true. If knowledge, now listen to this, if knowledge alone were power, then the person with the most books on their shelf and the most videos watched online would be the most successful. How many of you hear that? If that was true, that knowledge is power, then that means the one who has the most books, the one who watches the most videos, the one who has the most information would be the most successful. Now, how many of you have a lot of knowledge? You've watched lots of videos, you've taken lots of courses, but then it's not happening the way you want it. See, we all know that that's not the cause. And that's not the case. Knowledge is only potential power. Nothing changes until you apply what you know. And that's what we help you to shift inside. Amazing exercises, a study routine, followed by application. And by the way, that's another important thing for you to get. And all of you, I'm telling you right now, this is so important. Knowing this, memorizing this is not going to change you. See, again, it's the implementation, it's the application. And when you're with a group, when you're of people who are using it, when you are being led by a mentor, a coach who is using it themselves, they're not just talking about it. I got news for you. You'll take off like a rocket. And you'll be going, you'll be saying this. Why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I do this sooner? Yeah. You know, there's something I share, and I'll just pull out a book here. I think about this. This is Secret of the Ages. And I want you to think about all the pages that are here, all these pages. You got this book, even this amazing book here. I'll pull out this book here. No such thing as self-sabotage. Okay. The subconscious code. Shoot, even, you know, all of this. When you think about all of this knowledge here, you got to remember it's all passive, it's all static. Okay. It's all passive and static. It doesn't have any power in itself. The only way that the power comes into play, again, is when it's used. And so, again, this is being emphasized because of how important it is. And when you apply these principles in your life, again, the results change. You know what I want to do, Dolly? Because a lot of people, for instance, when they think of making change, they use this phrase, I've got to think about it. How many of you have fallen into that trap where, okay, you want to make a decision, you want to do something, but then the statement comes out of your mouth, okay, I got to think about it. Type in the comments, I have to think about it, not to affirm that you have to think about it, but type in the comments, I have to think about it, if that's something that you say, especially when you're feeling really uncomfortable about moving forward. Okay, type it in comments. I gotta think about it. I gotta think about it. I gotta think about it. Oh, and it feels so uncomfortable when that statement comes out because, oh, I have to think about it. Okay, I bought myself some time. Right, Dolly? Isn't that what happens, right? I need to think about it. Right? So all of us should be raising our hands. We've fallen into that. But here's the question. Is it really true when it comes down to you moving on that? Is it really true that you have to think about it, or is that you just have to make a decision? I want you to read, this is lesson 2 in Emergence. Listen to this. Every time you say, I don't know what to do, I have to think about it. It's in the same realm. What you really mean is, I haven't decided yet. The moment you decide, the fog clears and the path appears. Confusion is never a lack of clarity. It's a lack of commitment. Oh my gosh, guess what book that came from? Right here. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. Now think about this. Decision unlocks the doors of possibility. It is the invisible cause between every visible effect. It's what sets the law in motion. The first lesson is about the power, the importance of application, right? The second lesson is about being decisive. Now, here in this beautiful lesson, what I would love to do, Dolly, is, this is provided we get some feedback here, okay? How many of you, for instance, you've been wanting to make changes, but then you fall into this, again, the trap of, I have to think about it. The procrastination sets in. Really, all you have to do is make a decision. How many of you would love to change that? And how many of you realize and understand that if that was something that was in your life, that if you were decisive, that it would change a lot in your life? How many? Type in the comments, yes, that would change a lot in my life, if that's the case. And if that's what you'd love to change, then Dolly, I think what we should do is send the chapter of decision to everybody so that they can study it and use it for themselves. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that. That would be a game changer. How many of you recognize that that would be a massive game changer for you if you were just decisive? You know what's interesting in this chapter in Emergence, which, by the way, we need to share with you. Emergence is a guided facilitation course. It's not something, yes, you study it on your own, but you're guided with a mentor to help you to use it. But again, how many of you, if you were more decisive, again, you realize that would change a lot in your life? And maybe right now you're feeling that discomfort about being decisive right now. How many of you feel that, like, when it comes down to it, oh yeah, but oh my gosh, but how do I how do I get good at being decisive? Especially if you've been procrastinating or been looking out and haven't been decisive. How many of you recognize and feel that? Dolly, have you felt that before? Right?
Yes.
It's like there's this discomfort, right? Right, Bav? Right, Christina? Jillian? How do you get really good at being decisive, especially when you want to, but you haven't been? You've been procrastinating solely because of a lack of commitment. So my question for you, though, is, if that's what you would love to be in your life, in other words, be decisive, the question is how do you get good at it? How do you get good at anything? What's the answer, Dolly?
And all the answers coming in.
They're all coming in by practice, right? See, stop thinking about it and instead decide. You know that when you are decisive, it's so beautiful. This chapter rocks. It is so freaking good. Once you are decisive and that's embedded within you, it's always the right answer, even if the outcome is not what you wanted it to be. Why? Because when you're decisive and you know exactly what you want, then what you can do is you can make another decision and pivot and pivot and pivot until you come up with the right answer. It's always the right answer. That's why the chapter title is The Power of Decision. See, when you use the golden rule of application, applying knowledge, using it in your life, so you gain understanding, and then you then move into embedding within you being decisive. Oh my God, things start to shift. And they don't shift a little, they start to shift a lot. And then after you understand the importance of decision, you know what you start to step into? You start to step into the importance of dreaming big. How many of you know you've got to dream big? You know what I love is this picture here of Jeff Bezos, Amazon.com. Think about how many people thought he was crazy. Isn't that? Oh, you want to sell books on that online place? What is it? On the internet? But I want you to think about the importance of that. You know, if you want big things in your life, you got to dream big things for your life. You've got to imagine really great things for yourself. You've got to act from what's not logical to you. What's logical to you is the enemy of your progress. See, when you dive deep into understanding that, it shifts a lot in your life. What's beautiful is we go deeper into that to help you to understand there's two different kinds of logic. There's spiritual, what's logical spiritually and principally, and there's what's logical to you based on how you've been thinking. And that's what's in the way of you living your life the way you would love to live it. Anyways, the whole point being is that when you have the right principles and you shift how you're thinking using those principles, the results change. When you learn how to impress in your heart the right ideas, the right beliefs, the right habits, guess what changes? Your life. Why is that important? Well, because the mind instructs the body to deliver an action which then delivers the result. You want to change the result, you got to change what's in here. More specifically, what's here. Wow, so good. I think it's time for another prize.
Let's do it. That's
So
my
we're going to do it
favorite.
tomorrow. Who's going to win? Okay, ready? Okay, I'm going to scroll up and down. Here we go for the attending. Remember, you have to be attending here live in this in order to win. And okay, I'm going up and down here, and you're just going to tell me when to stop.
Okay, wait. Ready? And stop.
Michelle Zurich. Hi, Michelle. Everybody's give a congratulations to Michelle. Michelle, oh my gosh, I have not heard your name before. Where are you from? That's so great. Congratulations, Michelle. Amazing. Woohoo! Right, another winner. Ta-da!
So fun.
All right. Michelle, we're going to send you something amazing and beautiful and incredible.
Oh, she's from Toronto.
Amazing. Toronto, that's where Bob Proctor was from.
Okay.
Incredible. Congratulations, Michelle. I think we should do one more.
Okay, let's
We're going to do one more, and then what we'll do is we can answer questions and bring in for landing after that.
Okay, that's fun.
Okay, so who's ready? I'm going to go up and down. Here we go. Tell me when to stop.
Okay, wait. Stop.
Queen bee. Zan, Ray. Zan. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Zan. All
Oh,
right, we
that's
got Zan.
beautiful.
All right, Zan. Okay, so we got these names. By the way, Michelle, we're going to need your information so that we can um, send you your beautiful gift that we're going to send over to you. And then we already have Zan too as well. Amazing. All right. Incredible. All right. So, wow, this was really, really cool.
It was
It was
wonderful.
amazing. How many of you got a lot from this? I hope that you really, really did. I hope a lot of you got a lot from this. I hope that it served you. With that being said, again, if you were invited here from somebody, from one of our mentors, our emphasis is to listen to what they're sharing with you. They are 100% qualified to help you with what it is that you're seeking. And on top of that, they have shown in the results that they do understand this at a level that can help you in a big, beautiful way. So this is great. Look at you got a ton of this, so amazing, so incredible. And so what we would like to ask you is if you could type in the comments what you got from this, that would be magnificent. We want to read that out loud um, and share that with everyone. What was the big thing that you got from this? And then also, if you have questions, by all means, go ahead and ask the question as well, okay? Because we will answer those questions. So, okay, the stick man, Christina, you liked the stick man. Okay, I think what we can do is, Christina, we can you wanna talk? We can invite her to talk.
Yeah.
Christina. Okay.
Oh, it works.
Okay, yeah. Christina, we're gonna pull you up.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? It's so happy, so awesome that you're here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. I am. It's amazing. Um, you hit on so many things and it explained it more. I with like the procrastinator and um, I have like all the things to step into it and do
Mhm,
it,
mhm.
and I just don't. As soon as you said that, my mind's like, oh, that's me. That's me. You know, I got these like, 5 different ideas. I have them all set, and I have 2 books that are like done. I just haven't uploaded them to be. Actually, it's 13 books. Um, I have to get 9 of them illustrated and then done. So, um, yeah, I've stopped, and um, what I realized is it's the story that's been like it all like the download for me was um, you can have success even if something horrible happens.
Mhm,
So that in the past I've had some major success and then had some tragedies happen, um, pretty significant ones. Um, but as you explained the stick man and all the different things and how it goes into the heart, I just I understand I haven't fully healed my heart.
mhm.
I haven't I haven't allowed myself to feel it and just accept it.
So I have a beautiful question for you.
Hmm.
What if there was nothing to heal?
Okay.
And this is a real big thing because there was some times when I would
Okay.
think that that would be the case.
Hmm.
But when you think in terms of the stuff that's happened or what has happened, whatever it is, what if it's just a matter of shifting your point of view? And
Um, okay. Yeah, it might be, and I
yeah,
might, yes, it's
yeah.
probably, it is probably, yes, it's shifting my point of view.
Yeah. And
Um,
you know, the only reason why I'm saying that, you know why I'm saying that? Because you said I haven't let myself, you're here.
yes,
You're
it
here.
is.
You're
Yeah.
here in this event.
Yes.
You're here in this call.
Yes.
And you would not, for instance, if you were, you being in this call reveals that there's already a lot of transformation that's happened because this something's obviously calling out to you, which means there had to be a change in you already.
Okay.
Now it's just a matter of letting go of the old pattern that's there that you're unaware of, or the
Yeah.
other belief that's there, which is a lie, um, and overriding it. You know, Bob Proctor, I don't know if you've heard this story before, but I was over at Bob's and I was telling him my story. I was kind of
Mhm.
like saying stuff similar to what you're saying without going into details, right? And then I said, I
Right.
want to make this change. I want to make this big change, and I want it to happen fast. And then he said, well, Troy, if you want that to happen, you've got to focus. He said, there's no other way but through the will. And what's interesting is around that conversation, another conversation happened as well that was tied into making the change. And it was tied into, for instance, today's modern psychology, where what do you think about digging into the inner child so that
Yeah.
you could, you know, bring all of that out and you can heal that inner child and move forward. And Bob was like this. He was like, why would you want to do that? His face was like, why would you want to do that? He goes, let the dead bury the dead. That's your past. He said, you know what? Instead, set yourself a nice, big, beautiful goal and give your life to that. He says, just give your life to that. And the whole point that was brought out was, wow, I didn't even realize there was a pattern in me that was there that was living from those things, whatever they were, and that version of me wasn't even alive. But that image kept coming in because of habit. And what if there was nothing really to heal? What if it was just me accepting a new idea and giving that life instead? See, that shifted almost everything for me. And then when I stopped giving attention to those very things that were not serving me, remember that statement that I shared earlier? You're either a slave to your imaginings or a master of your imagination, right?
Mhm.
See, when I realized, oh shoot, I can imagine whatever it is I want, and I can start to strengthen that. And what's interesting is the moment that started to happen, that's when everything started to change. And so that's when I realized also, shoot, there was nothing to heal. I just needed to let go.
Let go.
Just let go.
If I could also add, Ingra asked about what it meant when I said to do the work. And this is
Mhm.
when your higher mental faculties are exercised, is what Troy is sharing with you. And if you don't have the level of awareness, if you all have not done the work yet, that's going to sting.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you have, you'll understand it. Yeah. About because when we're going through the things we have in our history, in our past, we had the level
Mhm.
of awareness then that we did. So when we focus on what we'd rather create instead, this is where the speed begins, because we're
Okay.
here to create. And as we start to transcend and evolve, when we look back, those things will be revealed. You see, that's going to happen anyway, if that makes sense. That because you'll see that there wasn't anything for you to heal, as Troy is saying, because the true essence of who you are. This is why it's not semantics, a play on words. When we say, I am not, I am self-sabotaging. Look at what you're affirming. I am.
Yeah.
What is I am? It's
I am.
self-sabotaging. And we keep saying that. And where we put our focus, attention, more of that.
Yeah.
So when we say, no, it isn't you,
Mhm.
it's the program, the
And you can
spirit.
change the program.
Yeah, you can, exactly. And that's what you're hearing, Christine and Christina. And and this is why when you surround yourself with those that see you as your high standards, where characters are not being broken, Troy sees you as your higher self, and this is how he's speaking to you, and this is how you're
Mhm.
responding now, and you are open-minded to receive that.
Yeah.
Right? Your avatar in the sense of discomfort is now being reprogrammed, because there's doing the work means to feel the discomfort. Stay in your imagination. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. I'm going to continue. And your body is going, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Right. And this old program is running, and you're saying, that's a program. That's not me. That's a program. That's not me. And a new one runs, and a new one runs. that's when you have now stepped into this new dimension, and now you're hearing from a different channel because you're on a whole nother frequency.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to emphasize that because I remember, and Troy and I, even we have known each other since 2018, but we've also traveled different journeys. And I remember in different parts, I would meet him, and sharing stories about how we were doing. And he
Mhm.
would say, I don't give a shit about your problems. And I was like, what? Like, I wasn't ready yet. I still needed some more work to do. And then eventually in understanding our time, we're here to create. Those answers will be revealed. And when they are, they're even better news than what you thought it was, because you're now looking at it from the level of awareness that you weren't before. You see, others are holding that frequency for you, and this is why who you surround yourself with is so important. So you are that, you are being, and that's why you're here today. So thank you for your courage and vulnerability.
Thank
Christina,
you.
how did you hear about this?
I think.
Jody.
Jody, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, she is an imp. Oh man, she is a powerful
Yes.
force. One not.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Yes. I've seen her transformation.
Mhm.
I met Jody um in 2019 and
Wow.
in a mastermind. And then we ended up going to Date with Destiny and together with other people, and just have stayed connected with each other. And just recently, I got to take care of Gemma, her dog, while she was
Mhm.
gone. So that was a wonderful blessing. And just her essence, how she just came in, just the energy that she was giving me, like the energy that she had, changed mine.
Yeah.
And it changed it fast. And um and immediately I knew I literally, she left and I went in and put this in and got this to come to this event.
Oh
So
wow.
yes, it,
Yeah. So we're going to
yeah,
say, listen to her.
yeah.
We're going to say she knows what she's talking about,
Hmm.
and to definitely follow her lead because she does know what she's talking about. And
Yeah.
Oh,
that's really beautiful that you shared that.
Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much. And I also too want to say you're part of the manifestation of what we wanted to be a witness to is, it's just the leaders, like what it takes. Because then you watch others do, like Bob Proctor would say, paradigms are a bitch, and you would think that he would have gotten it in the 60 years that he'd been teaching it. But to be behind the scenes, we've been behind Jody's and her willingness to die for it. John and Jody, they're just, uh,
Hmm.
it's incredible. So as Troy has shared, I just echo back to you, like absolutely, like there are no accidents. Everything is by design. They are
Yeah.
incredible, powerful force. She is very amazing, Solana.
Yeah.
And I'm so honored. I know we are both very honored to be walking this path with them.
Yep. I love her immensely, and John as well. Yes, both of them. So
So
thank
I have a
you.
question for you.
Sure.
Are you open to receive?
Yes.
Okay. And this just comes from the language that I hear from you. And
Hmm.
so I want you to say something that's different. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, ready? I want you to say this. There's nothing wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong with me.
I'm functioning perfect.
I'm functioning perfect.
I just need to change my program.
I just need to change my program.
That's right. You know,
Okay.
that one truth helped me tremendously because I used to think like, oh, there's this, there's that, I'm not doing this. And the procrastination was happening. And by the way, you know what procrastination is?
No, what is it?
It's a habit.
It's a habit.
You
Yeah.
can change your habits, right? So,
Yes.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and the way you shift that is form the habit of being decisive and remember you get good at anything through practice. And when you're
Practice. Yeah.
with the right people,
Hmm.
Jody and John, amazing with helping you to be decisive. And
Mhm.
one thing that's important too, by the way, you only have to work on shifting one or two habits at a time. And then there's this compound effect that happens. With that being said, when you have that kind of guidance, next thing you know is now you're moving really, really fast. So, anyways, I want to emphasize that to you to help you to see that, because sometimes that does sneak into our language, it sneaks into the belief when really there's nothing wrong with us. What's wrong is the program, and we can change the programming.
Yeah, I like that. There's nothing wrong. It's the program that needs to change. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
remember I was like, this negative thing was happening. It was happening again. And what's wrong with this? Wait a minute. And then I realized, oh, that's just a habit, and not a habit of doing physically, a habit of thinking, which then led to doing
Mhm.
physically. I'm going, oh shoot. And then once I changed that, I changed my life. Think about it. If you can deliver a negative physical action because of a negative thought pattern automatically, that means you can deliver a positive physical action by putting in a positive mental pattern. All you have to do is change it.
Yeah. And that's with this, that's what I got with the stick man. Like
Mhm.
you really, you know, the instructions and then the action and then the result, like, and as you did that and each, and adding more to it, the master and that, and then it just, it clicked today, like
Yes.
really big. So,
Oh my goodness. Well, congratulations, Christina. We love that you're here. Your energy is beautiful.
oh, thank you.
Release, let go, and then our biggest invite to you is to act
Hmm.
on what's next for you,
Hmm.
regardless of the fear which is happening because of worry and doubt. You'll notice that when it's time to make a change, if you're feeling uncomfortable and we say that thing of I got to think about it, it's because we're literally consenting to the new change. But most people don't
Okay.
understand. They don't understand it, and it's uncomfortable. Think about it this way. Say like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna act on doing this new thing that I want to do. Maybe it's coaching, maybe it's stepping into a new business, maybe it's going, I don't know what it is for you. But you remember, you're used to thinking this way. This is your program, this is the frequency you're on. And now there's this new version of you that's not you, not that hasn't been doing this. But if you keep it intellectual, there's no interruption to this, there's no discomfort. But if moment you start to pull in the idea of a new version of yourself, see, now your subconscious mind is going, hold on, Christine. Wait a minute. We're used to this. And you want this? Yeah, I really do. But this is what we're used to. This is what, remember, I'm loyal to this. They're not going to tell you that. But so what'll happen is now there's a new version. Your subconscious mind doesn't know which to obey because you've been loyal to this, right?
Okay.
And so now there's this conflict and okay, what do I do? What do I do? You're saying this, but we've been doing this. And because of that huge chaos happening inside, now all of a sudden there's no clarity of thought. Now there's worry and doubt. Now there's fear. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And then next thing you know is push back up intellectually and go back to more of the same results. That sucks. Don't do that. See, when you are feeling that discomfort, it's actually a sign that you've consented to the new change. Your job is to be loyal to the new idea, not to the old one.
Got it.
Okay.
I can do that.
Of course you can. Of
I
course
am
you can.
that.
Do you have any questions, Christina?
No, I don't. Because the way you presented it, as Dolly said, the way you presented it answered the questions because it was so simple, like really simple, um, things that were said before, all the masterminds and all the different 3-day things and all of the things that I've been doing for the last 5 years. Um, and I've been collecting knowledge and not
Mm.
doing.
Isn't that
So
crazy?
now,
It's crazy, huh? It's like,
yeah,
what? It can't
yeah,
be this easy. Simple, no,
yeah,
simple, I should say simple. It's not easy, it's simple. I mean,
simple.
it's simple.
It's simple. Yeah. Yeah, that is what um just really resonated, and the meditation, like I kind of left, I, I I
That's
quantum leaped,
good.
and uh it opened, like two of my chakras that
Mm.
I didn't realize were closed. And because I watched the colors open.
Mm.
Um, and um, I'm so thankful and grateful that she invited me and she's in my life. And John, her and John are in my life. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Amazing.
Wow.
yeah.
My goodness. Congratulations again.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
doing the work, Christina.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having this event
Awesome.
and sending us that. So yeah.
Okay.
So good.
That was so cool.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
only going to get better.
Okay, so there's somebody else here. One of our Michelle. Michelle, you typed in something really cool about what you liked, and you also sent your address so we can send you what you won. Um, are you there, Michelle? You said what you learned was your habits are not you. Now you might be a little shy right now because I pulled you up on the stage to speak. See, that's your paradigm. Overwrite that.
Come here, she says.
Okay, so unmute. There we go. I push the button so you can unmute. There you go. And Zan, I'll get you that Gary V video again so you can see that. There you go. Woohoo! Hi, Michelle.
Hi there.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, how did you
Hi.
hear about this?
I've been following you guys for a while. I think I first met you in NHI.
Oh,
Very
well,
cool.
this is a pleasant surprise. Thank you so
hmm
much.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I love what you guys are doing. Just love it.
Thank you.
So that grabbed you that your habits are not you.
Totally.
So how did it shake you?
I know it,
Mm-hmm.
but I still fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a battle for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and a crutch.
Mm-hmm. Is it a battle and a crutch, or is it just familiar?
Familiar.
There you go. See the difference when you shift the perspective about it,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
changes a lot. So what have you been
I like
wanting to change? What have you been wanting to change mostly in your life?
self-care.
Can you expand on that? What do you mean by self-care?
Well, I was caregiver for a very long time.
Okay.
Put myself on the back burner. Now I don't know how to get myself up front again.
Well, you're doing it now. You're here.
Yeah, yeah.
So what are the
This is
big
quite
changes
passive though.
when you say self-care though? What does that um, consist of?
Getting myself back in shape,
Okay. So your health.
uh, proper sleep hygiene, mostly health.
Okay,
Because
health.
I feel with good health,
Okay.
everything feels easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about career or anything like that? Or
I'm in the midst of doing the semi-retirement thing. I've been a registered massage therapist for 28 years.
Mhm.
I'm going to be 66 in
Years young.
January.
Years young.
Yes.
You want to hear something that shook me? You
Yeah.
you you used a word that I don't like to use. You used the word retirement.
A retirement from that career, but
Okay,
other
good,
things
good.
on the
Okay,
go.
so okay,
Yep.
good. Because retirement means to be put out of use, and so we don't use that language, and you're not going to use
No.
it.
Right.
Okay.
It will not be my primary focus going forward.
Uh-huh. So what is it that you're moving towards transferring into?
Opening up an Airbnb.
Oh, very nice.
hmm
Very good. A whole
Much
bunch of
easier on
a
my
string of
body.
a string of them or one of them or
Just one.
okay.
Yeah.
What would you really love if you could do like 5 or 10 of them with the same amount of effort as one, would you do it?
Yes.
Oh, so you do want more than one.
Sure.
Mhm. Isn't that interesting? All I did was change the question.
hmm
So there's more than just one. You're actually seeking a lot more.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So what is that?
Depends on my input.
Hmm.
This
So
is it going forward, it has to be fun.
okay. So that's good. You can make it what you want. Isn't it interesting? I'm asking you this question, and it's at the same time. And by the way, is it okay if I'm open and direct with you?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So I'm asking this question at the same time. Do you notice how there's a challenge with regards to answering the question in a big
Yeah.
way?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Why do you think that's happening?
I want to get the first one up and going first. I don't want to spread myself too thin.
Okay.
I have not had a life of my own in quite a while, so this is quite new to me.
Okay.
Being a caregiver is
Mhm.
all encompassing.
Okay, so let's
So
go
now,
deeper.
now I have freedom.
Okay, let's go deeper with regards to that. That's all legit in terms of the surface, but let's go
Yeah.
deeper in terms of why, what's the core reason why you're having a hard time imagining those big things for yourself?
Not sure if I'm capable.
Okay.
Not sure if I have the money. Not sure if I have the stamina.
Mm. So that's just, in other words, that's the habit that's in you and the belief that you have. Correct?
Right now. Absolutely.
So that's what's automatic in you right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you want to change that, correct?
Correct.
Okay, good. So I asked you that question because I want you to see that the thing that's in the way are not those other things. It's that it's what's in the heart. It's just the beliefs and habits. And remember, you can change those things.
Yes.
Okay. So I want you to say this: people form habits, habits form futures.
Yes.
Say people form habits, habits form futures.
People form habits, habits form futures.
Okay, so what we need to change is the habit that's in you of thinking those small things to making it so that you're imagining big things and connect you with that instead. And guess what will change when you do that?
My fear will go away.
Well, you know what's interesting? The fear doesn't necessarily go away. I saw this beautiful interview with Tom Cruise. Do you like Tom Cruise? I like Tom Cruise. Some
Yes.
people don't like him.
Yeah.
He was on the red carpet. This was like a little 1 minute video. And this woman goes up to Tom, Tom, can you tell me, how is it you go about and do all those things without any fear? And then Tom Cruise leans in the microphone. He had this look and said, what are you talking about? I have fear, but I do it anyways. See, the fear is always it will be there because of the worry and doubt. The issue is understanding why the fear is there and what it represents and how you have this ability to override it.
I think there's a deep fear and a superficial fear.
Yeah, the deep fear is the one
I'm
that really
dealing with
can
a
be
deep fear right now.
Yeah. And that's
It's
just
not going to
nothing.
stop me, but it's slowing me down.
Yeah. And that's just nothing more than a pattern in you subconsciously. And guess what? That can be changed.
Yes.
It can be changed. Amazing. So now it's just a question of whether or not now it's just a matter of whether you're going to decide to change. Remember, we're going to be sending out this article on decision that we wrote from Emergence. And
Yes.
that's something that we would love for you to dive into and study and use. And then, what would be really great is for us to have a conversation, you, me, and Dolly, about helping you with that. Does
I'd
that
love
sound?
that.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Okay, then that's what we'll do.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now, do you have any questions, Michelle?
No, I'm loving it.
Okay, good. So I want you to say this too. There's nothing wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong with me.
It's not me.
It's not me.
It's the program.
It's the program.
And I can change the freaking program.
And I can change that freaking program.
That's right. You can make it whatever you want. And when you have the right information, when your mind is open, you're willing to move the information around, when you're willing to be held accountable and do the work with the right guidance, bam, the change happens and the change is beautiful. And that's something we can definitely help you with.
Fabulous.
All right.
Thank you
So
so
we'll
much.
do
Thank
that.
you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And again, thank you so much for that beautiful surprise. If you said back from then NHI, you're here. I mean, to me, that's,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, our heart's full with that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll talk soon, Michelle.
Yes.
All right. Amazing. Right. Oh, so good. Awesome, awesome sauce.
It's a lot of
So,
fun.
Dolly, what do we do from here? We have this invitation. We're going to be sending everybody the article on decision.
Yeah.
Many people here were invited by other people as well to come here. And if you weren't, and you got it through our emails and stuff like that, you know what? I think we open up an invitation for people that came here who weren't invited by other people to have a conversation with us so that we can help them in some way. What do you think? That sounds like a good
Oh,
idea.
absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And also too, like, once again, what you this quote was something that we use even in one of our creations of Circle of the One, of what you seek is seeking you by Rumi. And that's not just play on words either. Those are words of truth. And so you all were brought here by design on something you were asking. So if there is an intuitive pull to, that curiosity of what could be beyond the next, have the courage to reach out, whether it's to us or those that invited you in. Either way, we will lead you back. But we would love to have a conversation. Absolutely. We are here to serve. So we'll give you everything we got when we do.
Yeah, 100% we will. So from there, it's about, again, being courageous. Now, this is something that we share with people, because remember, when there's that discomfort inside that's happening, especially when it comes to making a change in your life, when that happens, we congratulate people. And there's some people who don't, oh, I'm so sorry you feel the way, don't feel like, no. We actually congratulate them because, again, it means that you're internalizing a shift in your life. See, that conflict that you're feeling, that discomfort, is actually a really good sign of moving forward. But unfortunately, most people don't understand it. And so they hit this, what's called wall of fear, a terror barrier, and then they bounce against it and they go back to more of the same. Now, I know that there are several of you here right now in this call right now who have been wanting to move forward, but then, something comes in terms of maybe a past experience, or maybe there's a paradigm that's there saying why you can't or whatever. Well, we're here to open up the invitation to you to shut that shit down. Okay. Don't let it run you. Remember, you're the one that's in in control here. And what's beautiful is we can help you amazingly well, provided you are willing to be courageous and take a step and to do that work. So with that, that's what we're inviting to you, for you to do for yourself as well, and to go ahead and set up a time for us to have a conversation. We'll reach out to you as well, and let's see about helping you to deliver the change that you seek. That sounds really good, right, Dolly? Oh my God.
Right. And of course, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
everyone that came today on live and also in the recording. That was, yeah, I got a lot out of today, as we always do. We always do, don't we? And the same things happen for us as we share with all of you. And so we are so grateful that you guys are a witness to our evolution too. So grateful and thankful for each and every one of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are. So we're going to put the link for the download for the decision chapter right here in the chat, and then we're also going to email it to you as well. So if you could make sure that you get it, we're going to put it here here so you can download it here. There's
We'll
the link right
email.
there. Yeah, we're going to email it too, but you can download it now so you don't have to wait.
Oh
And
yeah, I was talking about the Gary V video too, because that's
oh,
a
the Gary
really,
V. Yeah, I'll find that and we'll send that out too as well.
yeah.
And then we'll move from there.
And Betty, yes. I don't know if you saw her question.
What did Betty say? What did Betty
Oh,
say?
yeah, I love that. What did Betty say? Is
Let's
emergence?
let's pull up Betty. Here we go.
Ah.
Hi, Betty. Let's go ahead and unmute you real quick.
Hi, guys.
Oh, Betty, we love
Oh,
you.
we love you.
Love you too. I just wanted to find out, you were talking about emergence and the chapters and everything, and I think you did mention something about having a mentor to support or something like that. And so I wanted to kind of find out a little bit more about that. I'm always trying to get my act together. So
Mhm.
so
You want to hear something, Betty? Oh my
but
God. We were talking about you about this, about what you're asking for.
what?
Yeah. And here you are asking about it. So yes, we're going to have a conversation.
Oh, okay.
We're going
Great.
to have a conversation with you. Because we
Okay.
were saying, what about Betty? Oh my gosh, Betty, it was so amazing. Oh my God. Yes, we'll set
Okay.
that up. We're going to set that up.
All right. Thank you so much.
We love
Oh, you're
you.
welcome, love.
We love you too. I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful. I was thinking about who the lady was just talking about. I've known you guys since NHI too.
Mhm.
I remember and I remember that you guys left, and then I said, "Where is he? Wait a minute. Dolly's gone too? Wait a minute. What's going on?" So I did reach out to somebody who I knew would know where you were, and that's how I found you guys again. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much because I have my life has really changed since I've known you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. You're such a wonderful example of implementation, of application. Betty, we have so many amazing things to say about you, and these are not just words, these are pure heartfelt, deep from the recesses of our heart. We definitely admire you and you inspire us.
Big time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Big, big.
Love you guys.
Yeah, love you too. Okay, we'll set it up. Talk to
Okay.
you.
Super duper.
All right. Wow, that's so cool.
It's so,
Oh,
it's so powerful too.
I know, huh? All right. So, thank you so much. If there are any other questions, we're open for more questions. If you have some more, if you just raise your hand. And if you don't, then what we'll do is we'll get this recording ready so that you can watch it again. And our biggest beautiful hope for every one of you is that you got a lot from this and that you will use it in your life. Don't fall into the trap of thinking or believing that knowing this is going to serve you. It's not. The only way, again, that what we're sharing with you is going to help you in your life is if you use it. And if you don't use it, then unfortunately the results are not going to change. And that's the core truth. Application, baby. That's what it is. That's
I love it. I love
application. Oh my goodness.
This was a lot of fun today.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. And it's definitely something that we're really, really grateful for. Oh my gosh. So here's our song.
All right.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Yes, I can hear it. So until next time.
I love vitality, my friends. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
I am more than the stories I've been told. I am light, I am love, I am whole. From the silence, the truth begins to rise. A new creation I see through